counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game.
Yes!
Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son. You got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude. You got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wortz on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Well, welcome into the Leadoff Show, live from Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up on all things Brewers Cubs ahead of Game 1 today at 1:08 p.m. from American Family Field. Freddie Peralta going up against Matthew Boyd of the Chicago Cubs. Charlie, how are we doing this morning? Are you going to make it through today right now? It's Cubs and Brewers, your two favorites.
I think so. I'm pretty fired up, Tommy. This is like best case scenario for me. I was super excited to see these two teams face off. Honestly, I'm going to be cheering no matter what happens. I feel like you're going to say that's like a loser mentality, but this is just fun. I just love playoff baseball. It's my two favorite teams going up against each other. Doesn't get better than that.
Fun always prevails, Charlie. It is the Leadoff Show. We are presented by Apollo Cafe, Milwaukee's Greek restaurant of flavor, Greek superstar of flavor. And we have an awesome lineup for you here today for the first game of the NLDS. And to lead things off on the Leadoff Show, Packers all-time leading scorer, host of the Mason Crosby Show from 12 to 2, it's Mason Crosby joining us here. How are we doing, Mr. Crosby?
What's up, man? What an honor to be able to come on as a guest on the Leadoff Show. This just feels really special. I was going to say something really corny because you said I was going to say to kick off your show, but I figured that would have set you in a bad way. But
no, I'm okay
glad to
with
be
it.
here, and I'm glad you're up and you're going this morning.
I'm excited, man. I mean, it's Game 1. Everyone is getting, cozied in now to Kelly's Bleachers. First people starting to walk in here, and I'm sure it's going to be awesome once they start to get things going here. Mason, I want to start things off just asking about your first playoff game. When was it? How does that feel? Because there's a lot of Brewers right now who are being a part of this team with very high expectations, and I wanted to know, as a former professional athlete, Super Bowl winner, and plenty of playoff appearances, what is that first one like?
Whew, yeah, I got to dig deep. That was my rookie year, 2007, and we were heading out to play the Eagles, right? I think that's where we headed. So, it's one of those where you lean into the veterans, you lean into the guys that have been there, you lean into the leadership, and this Brewers team has a great manager and Pat Murphy. And I loved what he said in his press conference about we will not have guys here that don't bat well, they don't hit the ball well, and they don't play great defense. If you don't do those things, you're not going to be on this Brewers team. So I think he sets a really clear expectation for what this team could be. And
Oh, no. Come on, Mr. Crosby. Oh, there he is. All right, you're back. Go ahead.
Oh, man, I was rolling.
You were rolling. I know. I could feel it. I was getting juiced up, man. Go ahead.
No, I'm fired up because it is. It's just leaning in to what you've done throughout your career, throughout the whole season, and then just understanding that you lay it all on the line. These playoffs for one game in the NFL is different, but it's a series, but it's one game at a time, just like they've done all regular season. Just lean into your fundamentals, do what you've done well all year long, and then just cut it loose. I mean, there is nothing more fun than going into playoff season and playing football or baseball, any sport. It's amazing.
Yeah, and on top of it, you've had that Chicago playoff experience too. I go back to the Super Bowl year, obviously, in the championship game, the NFC championship game, where you guys eliminate Chicago. Jay Cutler gets hurt in the game. Caleb Haney comes in. We're all big Caleb Haney fans in Wisconsin. But what do you, as players, feel that Chicago, Wisconsin, Chicago, Milwaukee rivalry as much as, not maybe as the fans, but do the fans at least motivate you a little more to, hey, maybe we should work a little harder even this game going up against Chicago?
I do think there's a fan experience and there's fan motivation there. I remember playing Chicago every every time, especially when McCarthy was there, put on highlights, talk about the history, talk about what these games have been like in the past. And fans are always a big part of that, how the fans get involved, what the cross border talk and trash talk is all is going on. So I think the fan involvement is huge. I think the Brewers fans need to just hold it down there and make sure that the Cubs fans don't try to take over that stadium and be typical Chicago type fans. Just kind of annoying, a little brutal, a little tough to deal with, and just go out there and shut them up with a big win by this Brewers ball club.
Mason Crosby, first guest here on the leadoff show today. We are live at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mountain. We'll be here from 9 to 1 today. Come say hi. Come grab free shirts. We got the Euchre Magic shirts going around as well here too. It's going to be awesome getting ready for game one. Well, Mason, this is like the first year you said you've really gotten to be experience baseball, I guess, as like a true fan, right? You're in the media now for a year. You got the radio show going on, and the Brewers have been very relevant your entire time on the radio as of right now. They're the number one team in 2025 with the best record in franchise history, longest winning streak. What was like one of your favorite moments from the regular season, just watching this Brewers ball club for the first time as like a fan, or what was like one of your favorite things to get into with baseball, at least, that the 2025 Brewers got you to?
Yeah. Tommy, is this not how every year goes? I mean, Brewers made it pretty easy for this summer. Yeah. Everyone talked about summer being a really tough time sometimes in radio. As there's breaks in football, there's no basketball, but the Brewers made it so much easier. And I got the best thing for me was that 15 game win streak? How
14,
many did they end up getting? 14 game win streak. I mean, in that win streak, just talking, just kind of holding our breath a little bit as they just kept rolling, kept finding a way. And then I love to talk about, this Brewers team doesn't hit home runs at a huge, at a high clip. Can they get this thing done? And I just love those types of storylines, and I can't wait to see this Brewers club go into this postseason, prove everyone wrong that you don't have to hit home runs every time, 3 or 4 a game to go out there and be successful in the postseason. So I'm excited for that. I do have to correct myself, and Tommy, this shows you how old I am and how long ago it was. I talked about the wrong playoff game, and I talked about a playoff game going to the Super Bowl year.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the year I remember most vividly. My first playoff game ever was the Seahawks Snow Globe game in 2007.
Yeah. Was that Al Harris?
No, Al Harris. I'm not that old.
Dude, you played with Al Harris. Don't act like
play
you
with
didn't.
Al Harris, but that was not my game. The pick six. No, This is the Seattle Snow Globe game where we went down 14-0. Ryan Grant fumbled twice, and then we rolled up. I think we ended up winning 42-14. So, sorry, like brain fog. I'm taking 6 teenage kids out to the lake right now, so I apologize for that. But hey, that's what you got to do. You just have to apologize, right?
Yes. Mason, I have to ask you, who's someone in this series you're really excited to watch, whether it was someone that was your favorite throughout 2025 in the regular season or someone you maybe expect to have a little bit of a boost for the postseason. Who's someone that you're keeping an eye on extra close in this series against Chicago?
Well, big players make big plays in the biggest games, right? So, like, you gotta see Yelich's bat be hot. So I'm excited to see him kind of lead the way with some power, and try to find a way to get some home runs out there in this first game. If Yelich goes out there and hits at least one in this first game, I mean, I think that's going to get this team really fired up. And then it's guys like Bryce Terang. I expect Jackson Chourio just to have a big postseason. It's a guy, a young, awesome talent that everyone is hoping is going to continue to develop, and like big time players make big plays and do big things in big games. So I'm excited for those guys to step up. And then it's going to be the pitching. I mean, Freddie Peralta on the mound tonight, and then you got Quinn Priester following that up. I mean, those two have to be considered 2 of the best starting pitchers in baseball right now. So to have those guys on the bump to start this thing off, I'm so excited to see them. I want to see Peralta go a little bit longer than he has during the regular season, which is expected probably here in the postseason. But I'm excited for a lot of guys, and I think that's what this Brewers team brings, right, Tommy? We talked about that all year. They are not a team of one. They're not a team of a couple. Like, it's the whole team. Everybody steps up at different times and finds a way to get this win. So I'm really excited to watch this game today.
Yeah, and how important is that at the professional level even too, Mason? You know, the superstars always take the spotlight, but growing up, right, it's always a team game all the way through. Did the team feel different when you guys made it to the top, and did you really think that you had to credit the team more than any specific player if you go back to 2011? And do you see similarities in the culture in the Brewers dugout right now?
I do, yeah. If you want to go back specifically to that 2010 team, I mean, we were a young, hungry team. Aaron Rodgers was not Aaron Rodgers as we know him today at that point, right? So it was like he was a budding talent. Everyone was expecting him to take that next step and be great. And this Brewers team reminds me a lot of that. A lot of young guys, a lot of guys that are hungry. Nobody's trying to steal a spotlight. Nobody's trying to step out in front and say, like, I'm the man. Like, everyone just kind of follow me. I'll do it my way, and we're going to go about it the way that I want to see it done. It just feels like it's a we thing. And, I hate we fence, but it's a we thing, and this Brewers team is doing it the right way week in and week out, and it does. It feels very similar to that 2010 Packers team. A lot of hungry guys going out there and trying to get this win.
I know you've talked about it before. We're being joined by Mason Crosby, the Mason Crosby Show, weekdays, noon to 2 on the Fan here. I know you've talked about him before, but it's going to come up in conversation, you think, all throughout the postseason. For people who haven't heard it already, you've met Bob Uecker, right? I mean, you've had some interactions with Bob. Like, I don't know, what's like a memorable story you have with him, whether it is, the first time you meet him or when you get to really know him, like your experience with Bob Uecker, being a member of the Packers and then getting to see him at all the great events.
Yeah, so I got to know him pretty well going to the Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation's golf classic every year. So awesome that he would show up to that event every year. And I think I remember most just on the first tee before the group picture. He would just be walking around doing his thing. I always just remember, I'd go and put my arm around him and we'd just chat. I remember when he met my wife and met my parents and my brother, and just his genuine interaction with them. And just like his first thing is like, try to make you laugh right away. Try to say something that'll just like break any kind of uncomfortable tension that might be going. Just meeting Bob Uecker, right? I think he made everybody feel welcome and present. And so I remember those times so vividly, just standing on that first tee box, having those conversations, and the first words out of his mouth, always some sort of joke that would make you just kind of just relax and then enjoy those moments talking with Bob Uecker.
Mason Crosby, one more thing before I let you go here. Your prediction, game one, maybe an MVP, wherever you want to go with it. Brewers, Cubs, NLDS, 1 o'clock today. What do you think happens?
Oh, well, I think Yelich gets a home run. I think Bryce Terang has at least 2 hits in this game, and they're going to be big hits. Get this thing going off right, and I think that the Brewers win 5-2 is my prediction. Yeah.
5-2, right on that line. 7.5 today, by the way, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. So, your chances there.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a little tighter. Just they're gonna kind of feel each other out early. Peralta is gonna be painting those corners, working that strike zone. I hope he goes 6+ in this game and just kind of stretches it out a little bit, and finds a way to just keep those Cubs bats at bay.
You going to make it back to the mainland before the first pitch today, Mr. Crosby, with all those boys around on the boat?
Yes, I will be off the lake before 1 o'clock, ready to roll.
Awesome. Well, have a good rest of your day, my friend. I'll talk to you on Monday. All right, boss man?
All right, appreciate it, Tommy. Keep crushing it, bud.
There he is, Mason Crosby, Packers all-time leading scorer, host of the Mason Crosby Show, noon to 2 here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM. It is the leadoff show. We are presented by Apollo Cafe. We are live from Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mountain. Starting to fill in a little bit. Definitely come by, get your free shirts, get your shuttle service. We are here thanks to our good friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka. I'm juiced up. I'm ready to go. Mason Crosby talking about previous championship experience, and really, as someone who gets to work with him on a daily basis on the Mason Crosby show, you could see him get interested in baseball for the first time. I mean, it's not something that a lot of people did, and we've seen it with more examples, right? I mean, IT Ed is into baseball now out of nowhere, and everyone's excited to go watch this Brewers game, this Brewers team. I think that what we need to remember is that this team is different already and has a chance to become more different. And I'm really focusing in on the way the team is constructed right now for the chance to be the team in baseball going the other way, going against the grain, right? Don't worry about the home runs. They worry about pitching. They worry about defense. I cannot wait to see if it translates to October. I think they have a really good shot. I think that there's some key players in this game that when the team is really clicking, Bryce Terang had his home run stretch, right? Isaac Collins figured out how to hit the baseball. Caleb Durbin has crazy stretches, and this team figures its way out. It's going to go past the guys you expect to perform, right? Yelich, Contreras, Churio. Those guys need to have big series. The other guys, it's always extra, and that's when the team really is clicking, when that bottom part of the order figures itself out. Charlie, one quick fun little prop for you.
Sure.
Over under half an at-bat today with Joey Ortiz with the bases loaded.
Ooh, I feel like it's got to be over, right? I mean,
right, it's going to happen,
that's what it's been all season. He's been up there with the bases loaded. Hopefully he can do something with it when he gets up there. That's kind of the big question.
That's going to be a huge part of it as well, right? If he can capitalize when he gets that at-bat with the bases loaded. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with the lineup for game one, as they were trying out Christian Yelich in the leadoff spot for a little bit there. I think they probably go back to Sal Frelick in that spot for the time being, but I'd be really curious to see if the lineup construction is going to be more like the last week and a half, or if it's going to be more like the first 6 months of the season. It is the leadoff show. We are live from Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mountain. Make sure you guys come on down. Come get your Euchre Magic t-shirts. These are fire t-shirts, and it's got number 9 on it, which Bob's number and Jake Bauer's number. No big deal. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Tim Dillard, FanDuel Sports Network, Wisconsin analyst, former Brewers pitcher, joins Wisconsin Sports Daily weekly on Thursdays, I believe, at 3:20 with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. Lineup is stacked today. I got Josh Albrecht coming up from our new morning show, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. inside Wisconsin Sports at 9:45. At 10, we'll get a guess. A little eye on the enemy going. Rami Makloff from 9 to noon with Kuhn. He'll join us live here at Kelly's Bleachers. Brandon Snide, Locked On Brewers, and 9 to noon with Kuhn at 10:25. At 11, Trevor Thomas from the morning show jumping on here as well. 11:40, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, Wisconsin Sports Daily, live at Kelly's Bleachers. And, of course, that noon to 1 slot, it's going to be like the regular leadoff show. Austin Herdina, Potawatomi Sportsbook, Drew Wagner, live from American Family Field. It's going to be a great show here, and we are just getting started. It is the leadoff show, live from Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mountain, powered by Apollo Cafe, and live from Kelly's. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Here's now Vaughn and a drive. Left center and deep. Vaughn! And
Chills. It's the leadoff show live from Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mountain, presented by Apollo Cafe. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Thanks to Mason Crosby for popping on there for the first segment of the day. Joining us now on the fan guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. My first time, I believe, I ever get to talk to him, Mr. Tim Dillard. Good morning, Tim. How are we today?
Oh, excited, just like the rest of Brewers Nation. Can't wait for the game. I'm already decked out in my Brewers gear. I'm ready.
I'm ready to go as well. And you know what? Respect to Tim, because Sparky, when he's on the road, I don't think he necessarily gets to call this out. Tim has been locked into the same pose for 5 minutes in the waiting room, ready to be coming out here to have the same mood, ready to go. So respect the effort. He's been ready to go the whole time. Tim,
I didn't know you can see me. I didn't know you can see me in the waiting room.
You know what? Sparky
Now
never knows. He doesn't use the admin account ever. It's me on it right now. So I had to call you out. I'm sorry. Keep doing it with Sparky. He'll never call you out for it. Tim Dillard joining us. Follow him on Twitter at Dim Tillard on Twitter. Tim, you're excited, you said, and how can you not be, right? It's game one, NLDS. Brewers don't have to play in the wild card round for the first time in a while. And on top of it, let's throw it against the Chicago Cubs, who, by the way, their manager, a familiar face in Milwaukee.
I mean, if you can't get excited for this matchup, I mean, then what's it all for, right? There's so many good storylines, and, you know, the history is there, the rivalry is there, and it's just going to be good baseball. These are two teams that play the game right. So it's going to be exciting just for that. You're not looking at, you know, an AL team that's trying to swing for the fence. You're looking at two teams that play great defense. They put the ball in play, and it's exciting to watch. They're both teams that are fast as well. So there's going to be stolen bases. There's going to be extra bases. I think it's going to come down to, honestly, is who can keep their composure, because you know the place is going to be loud. You know there's going to be a lot of energy in that building. So it's going to come down to who can stay cool and calm under that kind of pressure.
And this entire regular season, it's felt like this Brewers team has done an elite job at that, Tim, right? They're very young. They're very, there's some inexperience along the way. There's guys that were all given up on as well at previous clubs. Like, in order to have the bounce back of a Trevor McGill or the bounce back of a Quinn Priester, right? Like, composure is all this team has been in 2025. And you would think that is a lean for this Brewers team with how they performed in 2025 heading in to the postseason.
Well, you think about some of the games that the Brewers played down the stretch. I mean, sellout crowds. I mean, AmFam was packed, had like 22 sellouts or something like that. They played the Padres. The Reds were good, and you were gotten to the postseason. So yeah, they have played the big moments, and they've done it recently. So they know what it's like playing under, you know, the bright lights, as it were. But what I really like, you brought up Trevor McGill, you bring up Priester. If you're going to have a successful season, you have to have guys that have a career year. Trevor McGill's having a career year. Priester, a career year. Yelich having one of the better ones of his career. You kind of go around the horn. Bryce Terang having a career. Sal Frelick. You have to have these big regular seasons to have these guys. And when guys have those seasons, they feel like they're playing on the big stage every single moment. When you have a career year, it doesn't matter if you're playing in Miami in front of 9,000 people or if you're playing in the World Series in front of, the entire world. So when you have a career year like that, every single at-bat feels like the biggest moment of your life.
Tim Dillard, FanDuel Sports Network, Wisconsin, joining us here on the Leadoff Show. Tim, you bring up the difference in play. What is it like getting into postseason baseball as a player, right? You are, I don't know, how many postseason appearances do you have off the top of your head? I don't know, but like, what's the difference between being a part of a team that's a part of postseason action versus getting through the grind that is the 162 of a regular season?
Yeah, off the top of my head, I got a whopping 0 appearances.
Sorry.
I was in the
I didn't do that.
shadows. No, that's okay. I'll cry in the waiting room after we're done. No, it's a big deal. There's just energy. I was, in the clubhouse or in the bullpen during a couple of the Brewers' playoff runs, and just kind of see the preparation, the smiles, the nervous energy in a good way, the preparation. I mean, these guys, you can't out prepare baseball players. Their whole routine. You could do a whole, documentary on routine when it comes to players. Like, they know when to start it. They know everything they have to do to get ready. It really starts probably the day before. It starts with their breakfast. They just keep going to get to the point where as soon as it's time to play, they are completely ready. These guys cannot get out prepared. That's what I've seen is not only do they figure out what the routine is through the entire regular season, but in that postseason, they know exactly what to do. Nothing changes in that way other than they are trusting the fact that once they get out there, they are going to have to manage their emotions and realize that they have to stay within themselves. I think that gets overlooked sometimes. Watching some of these wild card games, seeing some poor defense, some poor throws, some poor decision making, that comes from not being able to control what you feel and the excitement you feel in the moment. So there's a little bit of pullback. You have to almost like say, okay, I got to think through this a little bit instead of getting thrown out at second base, or throwing a ball over the cutoff man, which we saw a lot of that in the wild card series.
Tim Dillard joining us here on the leadoff shows. We are live at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound. Tim, you were a pitcher in the big leagues, and I want to ask about the pitching in this series right now for Milwaukee and Chicago. The Brewers going to rock out there with Freddie Peralta in game one. You had to do that, right? And He's had a phenomenal season, and he's really trying to get, buy another house, as Pat Murphy likes to say, with every single start. If Freddie Peralta wants to buy another house, what does he have to do today? And what gives you the confidence in Freddie Peralta to do that in game one, which is proving to be a very pivotal game every postseason series since in the history of baseball?
Yeah, I'm going to say the Brewers need this one. They need it. They need to win it. Of course, you can say, well, they need to win every game. No, this game is super important. You're going to have your ace on the mound, Freddie Peralta, 17-game winner. He has to continue being who he is. And what we're seeing in the playoffs is they're letting guys with a longer leash. If they're doing well, we've seen guys throwing 110 pitches, 120 pitches. If the guy's doing well, run him out there. I know the bullpen's super fresh, but I bet they're going to tell Freddie, hey, we don't care if you throw 20 pitches an inning. Strike everybody out. Who cares? We got a fresh bullpen. They're good. Just throw as many pitches as you want. That's what I would tell him, especially at home. The reason this is so important is he gets to play and pitch at American Family Field. His ERA is a 1.7. And it's 2 points higher on the road. He's 9-1 at home. He's given up almost twice as many runs on the road. He loves pitching on that mound. He knows what to do. He's faced this team a lot. He's got control of all 4 pitches. We've seen that down the stretch. So for him, it's about just playing his game. Strike everybody out. Don't care. Just do it. That's exactly what I would tell him. You want 10 strikeouts? Go have it. You want 15? We'll let you have 120 pitches. Who cares?
Well, and strikeouts have been huge. They're always huge in the postseason, but especially in this wild card round. I mean, strikeouts were massive at the end of the game, and they will be proving pivotal at the beginning of the game as well. How about the past Freddie Peralta, right? Who's the first guy out of the pen in your mind in this game? Is it Aaron Ashby? Is it The Miz? Is it McGill to have like a possible come and shut things down early in there? If you're, I don't want you to speak for Pat Murphy by any means, but in your mind, what's a good prediction on who could be that first guy out of the pen if everything is going the Brewers' way in this one?
I mean, a typical game, let's say Freddie gets done through 5 innings and the Brewers, it's a close game. 1 run either way or tied. It's going to be Ashby. I would bring Ashby in. He can pitch with guys on base. He can pitch without guys on base. He can shut down lefties. He can shut down righties. He can throw multiple innings. That may be the quintessential biggest weapon that either team has when it's talking about bullpen. So, I mean, regardless of the situation, I think Ashby would be the right choice. Now, you don't want to bring McGill in with guys on base. He's going to have a clean inning, whatever that looks like. If the Brewers have a 3-run lead in the 7th inning, that may be the guy that you see come in. You got Jared Koenig. You can bring him. He's been getting righties out as well. Lefties don't do anything. So you bring him in, and then you got Uribe for the 9th. And any of these guys can go multiple innings as well if you need them to, especially if you want Uribe to get 4 outs or 5 outs or Koenig. They're going to be able to do that just because of the way this NLDS is set up. They're going to have day off tomorrow, and then they play at home again, and then a day off. I mean, they're going to have plenty of rest when it comes to who can pitch. It's like, man, you've already had a ton of rest. Pitch, throw as many pitches as you can to strike everybody out, to let nothing happen in the game, and then you get a rest again.
Tim Dillard, FanDuel Sports Network, Wisconsin. One more thing for you here, Tim. We know that the team is very young. We had Mason Crosby on beforehand talking about youth and how you have to rely on a lot of veterans in this game. We talked a lot about Freddie Peralta already. When you go to the bats, you have to think about Christian Yelich in this series. Is he the most important bat for the Brewers heading into this NLDS against Chicago? And if it is not him, who else do you point to needing to have a big series against Chicago for success for the Brewers?
Wow. You can't really pick just one, honestly. I mean, you want what Sal Frelick's been doing to continue, Terang, Contreras, Vaughn, Churio. Like, you need these guys to all do something. It just because a veteran presence doesn't mean you're always going to get the hits. I mean, Giancarlo Stanton for the Yankees was 1 for 11 in the series. Aaron Judge was 4 for 11. You're not going to get a hit every time out. But one thing that the role of a veteran position player in this situation is to show that, hey, what we've done all year doesn't change. If Christian Yelich goes out there and suddenly he's having at-bats that are not like Christian Yelich, that could have a little reflection on what the other guys do. For him to go out there, know how he's going to be pitched, they're going to throw him – righties are going to throw him down and in with sliders and curveballs. The lefties are going to try to bust him in and throw stuff away on him, get him to chase sliders out of the zone away. If he stays within himself and puts up Christian Yelich at bats, good, bad, and different, whether he hits a homer or walks or strikes out, doesn't matter. He puts together his at bats, he's going to be backing up what this team has done the entire season, which is preach consistency. Be consistent out there. They have a winning formula. Now it's to continue what they've been doing all season long.
Tim Dillard, FanDuel Sports Network, Wisconsin. You got a prediction for Game 1 today?
I mean, I really want the Brewers to win. I have no prediction, but I want, let's see. Best prediction, Freddie pitches 5 innings, strikes out 10. Then here comes Ashby. He'll strike out some guys, probably Koenig, Uribe. I bet they'll strike out maybe 14 or 15 total in the game. Hopefully the Brewers win. Let's see. Terang is going to have 2 knocks, even if there's a lefty up there starting the game. I'm going to say Brewers win 4-1, just off the top of my head, because my daughter's up and I got to make her breakfast. So
sounds good. All good, Tim. Have a good rest of your day, and let's go Crew today. All right.
Yeah, go Brewers.
There he is, Tim Dillard, FanDuel Sports Network, Wisconsin, joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. Charlie, Tim Dillard's got to be in an elite group here. As someone who has a higher career batting average than ERA as a primary pitcher. He's batting 500 for his career. You know that?
That's pretty insane. How many at-bats?
Two.
Oh,
He's
okay.
got 1 hit. Yeah,
All
he's
right.
got 8.
Solid.
That's 1 more hit than we got in the bigs,
Exactly.
baby.
2 more at-bats.
You got a hit in the bigs. That's worth it. It feels like. FanDuel Sports Network, Wisconsin. Tim Dillard jumping off there. We're going to be joined by Josh Albrecht, host of Inside Wisconsin Sports. You can hear that show from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. every weekday right here on The Fan. He is live at American Family Field in the parking lot. Yeah, tailgating already, ready to go. Get set for Brewers and Cubs Game 1 of the NLDS. It is the leadoff show. We are live from Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound. We are presented by Apollo Cafe. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Frelick, right field. That one is deep and gone for Sal.
Homer right there. That would be awesome if that happened again today, by the way. Just want to put that out there. It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here, live from Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mountain. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Apollo Cafe, the sponsor of the leadoff show today. Milwaukee's Greek superstar of flavor on historic Brady Street. And joining us now on the fan guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law, it is Mr. Josh Albrecht, live at American Family Field in the parking lot right now. Josh, over under 2 minutes after this interview until you take that hat off because it's too hot out.
Definitely under. Definitely under. This is my opening day / postseason Brewers hat. I've worn it for many, many years. There has not been a playoff game in which it has ever been a concern. It is hot. Yeah, it is already hot.
How is the tailgate scene right now already, Josh? You guys already getting ready? Getting after it?
Trevor is here. He's setting everything up. See him right there if you're watching this on the YouTubes. We got multiple grills going right now. We also have Jason in the 920 and Andy in Brookfield who are joining us. Anyone after they come see you, get that awesome shirt, have 2 tree drinks. Want to take that Kelly shuttle down here? We are in the money lot. It's all money, baby. And there's a car right next to us with 2 flags up, so you can't miss it. There's a Brewers flag and an American flag up. We're right there. Come stop by, say hi here after. But, man, we're pumped. And I've only seen 1 Cubs fan so far in the parking lot. Only 1.
Only 1. Well, Rami joins us after you, so it's going to be all downhill from here. Josh Albrecht, host of the Inside Wisconsin Sports, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. every weekday here on The Fan. Josh, you and Trevor, in your short tenure so far, have been all in on this Brewers team when talking on the radio. The excitement, you can feel it from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. every weekday. You've been a part of a lot of awesome Brewers runs so far. The Brewers a chance to get one going again today with the team that broke the team record for the longest win streak, the most amount of wins. Pat Murphy on his way to a second Manager of the Year award, I'm pretty sure. What are you most excited about, though, for Game 1 against the Cubs right now? What are you ready to see out of this Brewers team heading into the postseason?
Yeah, so I think from a fan perspective, this is the biggest series, at least in my lifetime, right? Because this is a series against the Cubs. Every series against the Cubs means something, right? It means more. But this one legitimately means more. This is the first time that these 2 teams are meeting in the postseason, and that's a big deal. Right. And so even though this is the DS, this isn't an NLCS, this isn't for the chance to go to the World Series. You know, we gotta beat the Cubs to get there. The energy here, the tension here is incredible already. It's like Brewers fans are here and they're ready to party and celebrate, but everyone's dialed in. Like everyone knows how important this is, not just for the team, but for the city to come away with a W.
Absolutely. Josh Albrecht, host of Inside Wisconsin Sports, joining us here on the leadoff show. We're live at Kelly's Bleachers. Come say hi. We'll be here up until 1 o'clock today. Josh, we've been talking a lot about the pitching matchups with Freddie Peralta, Matthew Boyd. We've kind of neglected some of the bats, it feels like, in conversation. Who are you expecting to have maybe the series for the Brewers at the plate, whether it is someone who needs to step up? Is it someone that you're expecting to continue to maintain their success all the way through 2025? Josh, the best team obviously is when everyone is clicking, but who do you think helps lead that charge in Game 1 and in this series against Chicago?
Man, that's a really, really good question, because when we were watching the wild card series, we saw that pitching was so elite that it didn't necessarily matter who was at the plate. It was, did the pitcher make a mistake, right? And if the pitcher made that one mistake, that's where that opportunity came from. So just like a lot of people have been doing, focusing on the pitching matchup, that's what we've been doing on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh too, because Freddie's been pitching great. Obviously, Boyd is an amazing pitcher. They've got to make sure, I mean, it's for the Brewers, it's got to be Peralta's got to stay clean, and the lineup has to take advantage of that opportunity if Boyd gives one to make a mistake, because I don't see him going 2 or 3 innings unless the Brewers really get to him. But I think that you're going to look at your big guns here. I expect Yelich to do well. I expect Churio to do well. You know, these are the guys that they were here last year. I mean, Yelich has obviously been here for a while. They have the mentality. They know what they have to do. They have to show everyone else how to prepare and how to be great at the plate.
I'm excited for it, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the team does, right? Everyone's looking at Christian Yelich, who doesn't know what the Brewers are, right? This season, it's Christian Yelich has the 29 homers. He's over 100 RBIs for the first time. But those guys that no one really cares about in the national media landscape, the Bryce Terangs, the Sal Freliks, the Isaac Collins, the Joey Ortiz, Caleb Durbins, right? Like, it's going to take everyone collectively as a team to get this done. And now getting into the game one specifically, Josh, what do you think happens today? A prediction from you. Where are you going? Who is the MVP of today's game? What do you want to see in game one, at least, even if things go sideways, that could give you some hope heading into this series for the Brewers?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you that to start. I don't want to see anything go sideways, right? And so however it happens, I want to see the Crew come away with a win, even if it's sloppy, even if it's ugly. I want to take game one. That being said, I think, we did our score predictions on the show, and I said if the Brewers win this game, the Cubs are going to score 1 run. It's going to be either 2-1 or 3-1 Brewers. I'm looking for men getting on base, walks, take advantage, watch the plate, don't get antsy, get a man on base, and then do what you do. I don't know that they're going to have an opportunity to peck away, right? We talked about how all season long, how this Brewers team pecks away at the lead, and they'll just get a single and then steal a base and then a double and then another double. I don't know that you're going to have those opportunities. It just hasn't seemed like you're going to have those opportunities in the postseason. And so it might be, you get a man on base and then someone goes yard and now you're up 2-0. That's a huge opportunity that they have to take advantage of. But I think it's going to be low scoring. I'm not out here saying it's going to be a 6-4 victory. I just don't see it based on what we've seen in the postseason and what I think we've come to expect in postseason baseball. Pitchers get more dialed in during postseason baseball. And unless you're, the Reds and Dodgers series, you didn't see anything going 10-5, 8-5, whatever it was.
Josh Albrecht, Inside Wisconsin Sports, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. You can hear that every weekday, hopefully on Monday, talking about a Brewers victory. Josh, I will talk to Trevor later on. Make sure you get a bigger camera. I know it's like massive difference with Trevor being like 7'8" or whatever he is now.
Yeah, he's just going to stand like way
in person,
back.
Right?
Yeah, he's going to stand about 100 feet behind where I am right now, and then he'll fit on the camera. Yeah.
Josh, we'll talk to you later. Have a good time, my friend.
All right. Thank you, sir. Go Brewers.
Go Crew. There it is. Josh Albrecht, Inside Wisconsin Sports, jumping off the fan guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. I believe the lineups are final at 10 a.m. for the NLDS. So once we have the final rosters for the Brewers, I will get those to you. We are going to be joined by Rami Makloff on the other side of this break. That is what I am told. So we'll get a little bit of Cubs talk here. I've tried to suppress Charlie's words as much as I can here, even though he supposedly is,
I've been pretty indifferent, Tommy.
Charlie wants both teams to have fun.
Yeah.
That's just what it sounds like.
That's what baseball's all about, right?
Charlie's all about having fun. We are here with our good friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka. Sun Cruiser Vodka, the drink to have on your tailgates. Baseball calls for Sun Cruiser Vodka iced tea, made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth, easy to drink, with no bubbles to fill you up. It's the perfect game day sipper. Plus, each Sun Cruiser is only 100 calories, 4.5% alcohol, making it perfect for anywhere your watch party takes you. Crack one open today and let the good times cruise. Milwaukee, please drink responsibly. First hour down. We have 3 more hours to go here at Kelly's Bleachers. Come say hi. It's going to be an awesome time. We're taking you all the way up until first pitch. Come meet Sparky. Come meet me. Come meet Ken in the Falls. He was here. I know you guys have heard Ken in the Falls on the air as well. It's a great time here. It is the leadoff show. We are presented by Apollo Cafe, live from Kelly's Bleachers. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Rami Makloff coming up next.
We're counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game. Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son. You got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude, like you got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wortz on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome in hour number 2 of the leadoff show. We are live from Kelly's Bleachers. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Thanks to Josh Albrecht, Mason Crosby, Tim Dillard, all jumping on in hour number 1. We got 3 more hours still here, and I don't know, Charlie must have been just defiant. I tried to have him play the Death Star music after this segment coming up here before Imperial March, whatever it is. Joining us now, 9 to noon with Kuhn, co-host Rami Makloff, 670 The Score last night, right?
Yes,
yeah, you were just out there.
Yes, sir.
Joining us here for the first segment of the second hour. Rami, good morning. How are we doing today?
I'm good. I'd ask how you're doing, but first let me ask, because he's a Cubs fan. Charlie, how are you doing today, my friend? How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I appreciate you asking. Fellow Cubs fan. I appreciate it.
It's very important how you're doing, Charlie.
I'm doing good.
I did not get a say in
Tommy,
any
how are you
guests
doing,
that were
man?
coming on the show today.
How are you doing, Tommy?
I was pre-booked on all of my guests today, and I have to be sandwiched now between 2 Chicago guys. Well, it is good to, I think, have you on here, Rami. Not only are you part of our new lineup now, which is going on for 2 weeks now here. How's 9 to noon been going so far? How's it been treating you? How does it feel to be back on the Fan?
It's been great, man. It's been really, really fun. Got a good team with me and John Kuhn and our producer Brandon Schneid. It's been a lot of fun, man. It's good to get back at it.
That's awesome. And Schneid will be joining us in, I believe, the next segment of the show. He'll be on here. Well, he's got 72 kids he's got to take care of, so he'll be calling in.
Yeah,
but
that is true.
We have him coming up as well here. And it's Brewers Cubs. It's NLDS Game 1, Rami. You coming from the opponent side of things, how excited is Chicago specifically in your mind for this series right now?
I know Brewers fans will never give Cubs fans credit, but did you watch Game 3 of that wild card series?
I did,
the
yes.
Cubs and the Padres? Mm-hmm. Did you see how riled up those Cubs? Dude, it was 2 strikes into the baseball game. He had when Tyone had Fernando Tatis down 0-2, the whole place erupted. Everybody in that place stood up on their feet and was screaming their brains. Chicago is hungry. Chicago is very hungry right now. And it's obvious why, because they haven't had anything to celebrate or really cheer for since 2017, the last time the Cubs won a playoff game. Forget a playoff series. That's the last time the Cubs won a playoff game, and we haven't really had a lot to cheer about down there since then. So they're hungry, man. They're hungry, and they're fired up for this series.
The Cubs victorious 2-1 over the Padres in the National League wild card round. They get that form of playoff baseball early. They get that fix. Do you think that after watching those 3 games against San Diego, you do feel it was an advantage to play those 3 games at first, or do you feel that maybe there was a little bit of, banged up and saw some things you didn't like in the playoff action of baseball? Like, what was your take on rest versus rust, where the Brewers had to wait now and the Cubs got into the action a little bit earlier?
I think it can go. I think it can go both ways, and with both teams, I think it can go both ways. With the Cubs, they had to burn up their bullpen, man. They asked for 15 innings from that bullpen over the course of 3 games. Now you had the day off in between. I think the day off tomorrow is really good. I think they need that a lot more than the Brewers do, obviously. And then I think Craig Counsell can kind of reset his whole bullpen with 2 days off in a 3-day span. I think today it's going to be a little bit tricky how he gets through it, depending how many innings Matthew Boyd can eat up. On the other hand, I do think that they got some good mojo. They got some good vibes and some momentum going after winning that game, popping the champagne, having a little party. So I think it can work both ways for the Cubs. With the Brewers, you never know with these teams that get the bye with this new playoff format. I think it affects from team to team, guy to guy differently. You know what I mean? I think some guys probably welcome the rest. It's like a little all-star break kind of vibe to it. I think other guys, they probably would just keep on playing and keep their groove going. So it'll be interesting to see how the Brewers react to the 1 week layoff. I think there's good and bad for the Cubs in having to have played that wild card series.
Rami Makloff joining us here on the leadoff shows. We're live at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mountain. Come say hi. It's starting to fill up pretty nicely here in the back room where we are here.
People are drinking already.
Oh, yeah, I mean, this is
back.
Bloody Mary time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really into it necessarily, but there it is. Perfect. I knew we'd get a couple of them there.
Yeah.
Rami, taking a look at this matchup here, Cubs, Brewers, it's teams that are very familiar with each other. There's obviously a rivalry. There's a history. There's storylines all up and down when you look at former managers, how the season's gone this year. Where do you think the Cubs match up very well against Milwaukee, and then vice versa? Where do you think is somewhere in Chicago's lineup or wherever you want to go on that the Brewers could maybe exploit and take advantage of during this series?
These are very similar teams in that they both play great defense. They both run the bases very well. They both don't make very many mistakes, and they both are very good at capitalizing on the other team's mistakes when they do make one. So I think runs are going to be at a premium.
Mm-hmm.
I think where the Cubs have the edge is they hit more home runs, and that's a big deal, man. Tommy, are you ready? I got a number for you. I brought a number to Kelly's Bleachers.
Let's hear the number. Let's hear it.
80% of the time, over 80% of the time in Major League playoffs, going back 5 years, the team that hits more home runs wins the game. More than 80% of the games where the team that hits more home runs ends up winning the game. So I think that's an edge to the Cubs. I think where the Brewers have the edge is I think their pitching is, even though you don't have Brandon Woodruff, I think their pitching is more healthy and more ready for this series, especially with what I said before about asking for 15 innings out of your bullpen in that wild card series.
Well, I have a number that I've been saying on the air for a couple weeks for you here,
too.
That no team since the 2016 Cubs has not hit 200 home runs and been the World Series champion the same year. The World Series champion has hit over 200 homers in the regular season. The Brewers, not even close to that number as of right now. The year in 2016 when the Cubs did it, they hit 199 home runs. That's how much it is. It's the home run is going to be a factor, and it seems like it has been for the last decade of baseball, at least here. But the Brewers, it didn't show a problem with scoring runs. They obviously were great at that. And right now, they have the best regular season record. Why not see if it translates to October? You have to build your team differently in Milwaukee than the rest of the markets have to. And this is, I think, there's a huge microscope on this series for all small markets on can the Brewers construct a team without hitting the long ball that we've seen play in October, and can it translate to postseason play? And it's a great first test against a division rival in the Cubs.
I'm not going to say it can't. I'd be silly. I'd be foolish to sit here and say that it can't when the Brewers won more games than anybody in Major League Baseball playing that style. A lot of people, and there have been Brewers teams here in recent years that relied heavily on the home run. And when they'd fizzle out in the playoffs, I'd always hear from Brewers fans, callers, texters, tweeters, saying they need to play more small ball. They need to learn to play more small ball in the postseason. I'm not saying it can't work, but more times than not, when it comes to the playoffs, it doesn't work, man. The home run accounts for more runs in the playoffs than it does in the regular season. And it's pretty simple why. Everybody's pitching staff is shortening up. You're seeing everybody's best arms over the course of a series, and especially a 5-game series. So you're going to get fewer mistakes to capitalize on and put together a rally where you're moving runner from base to base, station to station, and pushing across runs like that. Not that it can't happen. It's just harder to do that when you're facing every playoff team's best pitchers on a pitch-in, pitch-out basis. It's hard to put together rallies against those guys. You have a better chance of running into one with a man on first or a man on first and second and putting up 2 or 3 runs instantly.
Rami Makloff, 9 to noon, joining us here every weekday. You can hear him with John Kuhn, Brandon Snide here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM. Who are the Cubs leaning on in this series? Where do you, or what facet of the game are you leaning on for Chicago in this series? That's something that you've done very well all throughout the regular season, and you're pointing to for October that if the Cubs are going to be successful in this series, they have to do what, Rami Makloff?
It's not something they've done all regular season. It's the thing they stopped doing, and the reason that they cooled off and spiraled for a short while there after the All-Star break. It's they need their big boppers to bop.
Mm-hmm.
They it looked like PCA and Kyle Tucker found their stroke in that Padres series in games 2 and 3 of that Padres series. If that's the case, I think the Cubs have a pretty good chance of coming out of this series. If you have a hot PCA, a hot Kyle Tucker, Michael Busch has been swinging a big bat, Seiya Suzuki's been swinging a big bat, all of a sudden this looks like that lineup that scored more runs than anybody from opening day to the All-Star break. If those guys can't do their thing, I think that gives the Brewers a real good chance of winning their series.
And now, what worries you the most that is a strength of Milwaukee as a Chicago fan? Where do you point to where you're like, hey, if the Brewers can continue to execute this like they have all 2025, it could be a long series for Chicago?
The pitching,
Mm-hmm.
I think that bullpen is almost as good as any. I after seeing that San Diego bullpen, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say that the Brewers bullpen is as good as any in Major League Baseball. But if McGill is right, that's a very strong bullpen, and I think Pat Murphy will lean on it heavy, much like you've seen throughout the playoffs from a lot of these teams. And also, man, they're just good. It's just a good baseball team all around. There is no superstar. There isn't any one thing where you go, man, they do that better than that. They just play real good defense. They send real good pitching out there. They run the bases as smart and as well as anybody in baseball. They just play a total well-rounded game, and that's what makes the Brewers under Pat Murphy so far.
Rami Makloff, 9 to noon with Kuhn, weekdays 9 to noon. And it's so clever how you guys thought of that, where you just say the name of your show is the time that you're on every day.
It's good marketing.
It's great marketing. Great marketing.
Exactly.
Rami, let's rip the Band-Aid off. I avoided it long enough. Is the Craig Counsell manager of Chicago so last year now, or is it still does it still carry that weight now of, hey, yeah, we know we have the manager that was, the all-time winningest manager in Brewers history, led them to some postseasons and some postseason successes, but never obviously got to the top of the mountain. Do you still feel that as a Cubs fan? Is there any hostility or any at least like haha in some of the faces of Brewers fans?
I don't think for Cubs fans it's so much about the Brewers storyline of him leaving the Brewers, how Brewers fans feel about it. I don't think that's really on the mind of Cubs fans. There are some Cubs fans who just aren't sold on Craig Counsell after these first 2 years.
God, that would be funny.
And one of the things that they point to is they're still winning divisions up there.
Yeah.
Like they were winning divisions before we poached him from the Brewers, and now they're still winning divisions after we. Was he really the guy that was winning those divisions, or was there something else going on up there in Milwaukee? And I really think I talked about this last night on the Score. I really think this series, for those people who aren't sold on Craig Counsell, who are on the fence or maybe just don't think he's worth the money that they paid him and all the hoopla that he got when he came over, this is kind of a trial for Craig Counsell. This is a referendum on Craig Counsell for those people, because they'll be able to point to that and go, they beat us directly. They won the division and beat us directly. What exactly did we pay $25 million or $40 million to this guy for if they're still winning divisions and they're beating us in playoff series? It's obviously still a thing on the Milwaukee side of things, Tommy. I don't think Milwaukee Brewers fans are going to let that go ever. Like I don't even, when he first left, I thought maybe we'd have a Brett Favre type of situation, where one day he'd come back and people would cheer him and you'd hang like his number.
That'll
up
never happen
somewhere
again.
Or something.
Never.
I really don't know if he'll ever be in the good graces of Brewers fans. I really don't.
If the Brewers continue to dominate in the postseason against him, maybe they'll cheer for him every time he comes back.
Soften the feelings a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay,
right? I mean, why wouldn't it? I
Sure.
think at this point, if you're able to take care of business in the National League Divisional Series against the guy who left because he didn't think he could really get to that top of the mountaintop, and to go to a market where apparently you guys, you have more money, but you don't spend any more money than everyone is on top of it. I'm ready to see this series. Prediction for today, Rami.
For today,
anything you want to go. You can go score, you can go player stat, you can go prop, whatever you want to do. I'll let you go wherever.
Today I'm going to say the Cubs win.
Ugh.
4-1.
Gross.
I'm going to say 6 solid innings from Matthew Boyd to give that bullpen a little bit of a break.
No way.
I'm going to say a home run from PCA.
Oh, dude.
Take over
literally
half a home run
anyone
on PCA.
but PCA in this series. I don't want to hear anything of it. I don't want to see anything of it. I'm over it. And Murph can't even call him the blue-haired kid anymore,
No,
right?
he
He changed it all up
Yeah.
after that. You can't have an OPS under 8 and be the blue-haired kid.
So Matthew Boyd, 5 to 6 strong innings, home run for PCA. Cubs win 4-1. Cubs in 4. and
Wow.
fly the W.
Gross. I mean, that's just horrendous. I knew what I was doing when I asked that question, but hopefully everyone feeling that a little bit in here. And what's something that you could see happening on the Brewers side that you would make a prediction for, Rami?
Freddie Peralta is going to come out and have himself a good day. I think Freddie Peralta has had some rough first innings. I think if he gets through that first inning, I think Brewers fans should be feeling pretty good about this one. I think you can count on that. I think Christian Yelich has to step up this series. I think somebody has to step up this series. Going back to what I talked about, and you mentioned with the long ball playing such a big role in playoff baseball. I think you need some of these guys who were hitting home runs. Vaughn, Yelich, Churio. Who am I missing? Contreras, like
Terang.
I mean, some of these guys who went on these tears where they were putting balls over walls. I think they need those power bats to wake up a little bit. If you get that today, you probably win, and if you get that throughout the series, you're probably getting your revenge on Craig Counsell.
Well, Rami Makloff, thanks so much for popping on, even if you are a Cubs fan. You know what? I can't wait. We should. I hope Snide was listening to that whole segment right there, because even though Snide, the grown man that he is, the meathead comes out every single day with Snide, and I hope he comes out fired up. Hearing you speak just gets a whole different form of juice running through Brandon Snide's veins before he jumps on.
I can't wait to hear him because he's a mess. He's a mess on game days.
No one actually, like, you know how your people say their mood is significantly different based on results?
Yeah.
That's Snide's blood pressure. It's actually his health.
It's not even the result. It's just the fact that there's a game happening. He doesn't even enjoy the process of watching sports.
I was laughing so hard when he was just like, Packer games are not fun.
They're not. He says it's not fun. He said he didn't want this series with Craig Counsell and the Cubs.
I want it. I'm all in for it.
I can't wait to hear his state of mind.
The roller coaster that can happen in this series on emotions, where it can be everything is beautiful and then everything is terrible. Like, I am all for it. I think the risk reward is unmatched right now in playoff baseball.
Playoff baseball is terrible and awesome at the same time.
Yes.
Like, you can't breathe. Your heart is beating out of your chest. You're hanging on every pitch. I barely sit down.
Yeah.
Like, over the course of a playoff
every
baseball
pitch matters.
I barely sit down.
Yes.
And my wife laughs at me every time the fans stand up, and there's a big 3-2 count. There's a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, and everybody in the stadium stands up and starts screaming. I do that in my living room. Like, I'm standing up and clapping and screaming in my living room. I'm a mess. It's bad for my health, but we're only here once.
Well, Rami, thanks for popping on. Have
pleasure,
a good rest of your day, my friend.
Same to you.
There he is, Rami Makloff, 9 to noon with Kuhn. Hear him every weekday here on The Fan. Coming up on the other side, we're going to talk to Jerry Augustine, former Brewers pitcher, working with the club as well. It is the leadoff show. We are presented by Apollo Cafe, live from Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mountain. Charlie Beck in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
And a line drive to the left, coming on Collins, and he makes the play. It's been the Isaac Collins game so far, a 2-run homer in the top half of the inning and a diving catch in the bottom half.
A little bit away, good piece of hitting by Michael Bush, but even better, the diving snag. Great job by Collins. Fresh off a homer, he's feeling like he can fly.
Highlights courtesy FanDuel Sports Network Wisconsin. Tommy Wortz here live from Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound, presented by Apollo Cafe, Milwaukee's Greek superstar of flavor. And joining me now, live at Kelly's Bleachers, former Brewers pitcher, working with the media as well over with the team, Mr. Jerry Augustine. Jerry, how are we doing today?
Great. It's historic Saturday. Doesn't
Yes.
get any better.
I am so excited for this series, Jerry, and I can feel it here, right? Like there's Cubs fans, there's Brewers fans in here. Everyone just excited for, like you said, it really feels historic right now. You got so many storylines in this series between Milwaukee and Chicago, just without adding a manager into all of that. And now the Brewers, the best regular season record, they get the bye through the wild card series, and they're in the divisional series for the first time in a few years now.
Yeah, it's just, they've had such a great season. You look at the way this ball club plays each and every day they come out. They give you 27 outs. I think that's a characteristic of this ball club. But when you look at it on defense, they're one of the best in all of baseball. When you look at the offensive side, they're pesky. Look at this ball club, the first half of the season. This was a ball club that manufactured runs.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the second half of the season, they're about 10th in the major leagues in home runs. So when you look at the second half of the season, combining those manufacturing runs and home runs really made this team effective. When you look at scoring 4 runs or more than any team in the game of baseball,
yeah,
that's pretty special. And this club has really has that the second half of the season.
Well, and you talk all about the offense there too, and the pitching's just been phenomenal all season. Whether you go to the starting rotation and you see guys having Cy Young caliber years like a Freddie Peralta, and you see guys figuring it out as things go this entire season. Like Quinn Priester, everyone gave up on Quinn Priester, Jerry. and now look at the Brewers look like the smartest organization in all of baseball, finding the gem that he is, while all likely will start either game 2 or game 3 for this Brewers team.
Well, they make adjustments. And I tell you what, they look at the pitcher and see what his strengths are. You look at a guy like Freddie Peralta. He's come such a long way. He was fastball Freddie when he first came up.
Mm-hmm.
Now you look at him, he's overwhelming with all those pitch he throws. He gets a good breaking ball. He's got a good slider. He's got a great changeup. He's all very consistent in the strike zone, and that's what's so important about the game today. But you take a guy like Priester, really found himself, of all places, in Colorado with the slider.
Yeah.
He started throwing it for strikes, got used to it. Now his secondary pitches become as important as his primary pitch, that good sinker. So he's going to be really good. I tell you what, he's done a good job. We're lucky to have him.
Yes.
He's had a great season, and we're looking forward that he's in our rotation. They'll go in either game 2 or game 3.
Former Brewers pitcher Jerry Augustine joining me here. Kelly's Bleachers leadoff show presented by Apollo Cafe. Studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Jerry, I'm looking at game 1 specifically here. What is the most exciting part of game 1 to you right now? Because I'm trying to start this narrative, at least, that the Brewers can change baseball this season, right?
That's
With
right.
their approach on the offensive side and how they found all these guys to bring this ragtag, as Pat Murphy would say, group of guys together to fix things. Like, they could send a message to Major League Baseball that small markets can compete in this era of baseball. And it's just looking at the game a little bit different, right? They're not reliant on the home run, even though they've been great at it in the second half. This is a team that gets on base, causes havoc, creates pressure. And maybe some people think it's a luck thing, but you have to watch the game and you realize that it is applied pressure that the Brewers give to their opponent that has made them such an elite team and given them such great runs throughout 2025.
That's why the number 27 is so important. They give you 27 outs.
Mm-hmm.
The game is not over until 27 outs are played. And I think the one thing about this club, and when you talk about today, it's going to be emotions. Emotions are going all over. When you take the Chicago Cubs coming off an emotional win against San Diego, coming up to Milwaukee and playing the Brewers, their arch rival, and you got the Brewers, a young ball club that has had some time off to gather themselves. It's going to be a lot of emotions in the beginning of this ball game, and that's going to play a big role. But when everything settles down, it's going to come down to pitching and defense and some real good at-bats by both clubs. Both clubs are fairly even. They both can put up runs. So it's going to get really interesting as the day goes along.
Well, and those good at-bats, that's something that Pat Murphy preaches to this team, right? It's about seeing as many pitches. And Drew Wagner is going to join us in the last hour of the show. It's always the mantra of home runs are thrown. They're not hit. Pitchers throw home runs. Batters don't necessarily hit home runs. Brewers have been great at having that long at-bat, everyone competitive at-bats all throughout the season. That last month of the year, maybe it tails off, but how did the Brewers get back into that rhythm, and did this week help them get back into that rhythm of creating the tough at-bat every time throughout all those 27
If I was taking the Chicago Cubs versus the Milwaukee Brewers, and I was saying who benefits more by the time off, I'm going to say the young Brewers, because they get the opportunity to go out and do some things. Murph is excellent at staying within the game, doing what you have to do, and I think their practices that they've had, the camaraderie that they've been able to do, getting focused on the playoffs with the young players really pays off. A veteran team really kind of goes through the motions. They go up and they take some batting practice. They may play some simulated games and things like that. But this Brewer Ball Club probably went through a lot of different things of really what the game is like. But yet it's this young ball club getting together with the veterans and understanding what's at stake here. This is no different than this season. You just got to go and play. Emotions are higher. The game is more significant, but the game does not change.
That emotion, playoff baseball, we had Tim Dillard on in the first hour. Playoff baseball versus regular season baseball. What's so different? What is something that you have to figure out in postseason play that maybe you can get by in the regular season, not having completely 100% down, but it will prove successful and give you team success if you can figure that thing out in postseason baseball?
I think the big thing is what I just talked about, emotions, because you get in the game, you're pumped up, you want to do something big to get the team off. So important. Mistakes are really, you look at a mistake and it can cost you. But I think it really comes down to keeping your emotions down, play the game the way it's supposed to be played. And I think that's one thing that Murph will really expound with these ball players. Hey, this is another game. We go play it the Brewer way. We go out, we pitch well, we play good defense, we're going to give good at-bats. And I'm going to tell you what, we're happy to turn it over to our bullpen, which is one of the best in all of baseball.
If the Brewers are going to be successful in the divisional series and they are able to control those emotions like you bring up, where do they have to rely on? Where do they have to lean in this series to translate that to a ball club, to a team that can win ball games every day here in this? Now every pitch matters now, Jerry. It's not just every game matters. Like you can bring it down to every single pitch. And that's the beauty of playoff baseball. The tension that is there for all 27 outs, for all 150 pitches in a game. Like, where do the Brewers have to lean in order to be successful in this series against the Cubs?
I think the offenses are very similar in the fact that they both score runs. They have the abilities. You take the power at Chicago. You take the manufacturing at Milwaukee. That's going to be part of the game, and you're going to get the good at-bats. When you get to playoff baseball is won by your bullpen. If you look back at 2011 when the Cardinals won it, starters went 4 2/3 inning. From there, the bullpens took over. Pretty special. They won the World Series. You look at Ned Yost over in Kansas City. When they won it the second year that they got in there and they won the playoffs, what did they do? From 6th inning on, it was all over because it was a bullpen. Bullpens will win pennants for you. It's so important, and I think Murph has got it set up really well. With when you look at the starters that they do have, and you look at what they have in the bullpen as far as closing games and late in the ball game with the guys that they do have.
Jerry, I appreciate you giving us some time here. Any predictions for Game 1? It doesn't necessarily have to be a result, but anywhere you think something's going to happen, where do you go to?
Boy, you look at emotions, and the emotions can get to you, whether it's on the mound or it's going to be in the field or a big play. I think we have to look early in the ball game and see how the game is being played. I think that's going to dictate how the game is going to go.
Okay.
Freddie, we're going to be just fine. And I think we're going to get to the bullpen, and I think we're going to score some runs. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens early in the game with the emotions, how the game goes. We'll be able to tell. If we can get to that bullpen late in the ball game, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be a happy man.
Jerry Augustine, former Brewers pitcher, thank you so much for jumping on with me, my friend.
Anytime. Great being with you.
There he is. Yeah, give it up for Jerry Augustine, right? He's awesome. This place is packed now here at Kelly's Bleachers, and I'm excited to be here for up until first pitch now, 1 o'clock, Brewers-Cubs. I'm looking around here. We'll see if we can get this roster finalized. Do we have Brandon here, Charlie, as well?
Yes, Brandon is ready to go.
Yes, let's get it. Let's get over there. We'll get a couple more here with Brandon Snide before we get to a break. Mr. Snide, how are we doing today?
What's going on, guys? Playoff baseball. I'm excited.
I'm excited, too. I know you got a busy day today, and we had Jerry Augustine just joining us there. Now we got Brandon Snide here, producer of 9 to Noon with Kuhn, a couple of minutes before the end of this. Snide, what are you the most excited about today, man? I cannot tell you how excited I am to hear Brewers-Cubs Game 1 National League Divisional Series.
I'm just excited for this team to do what they've kind of done all year, Tommy, and that's prove everybody, including myself, wrong. Right? You go to the beginning of the year in April, they start 0-4, things are looking bleak. They don't have, Freddie Peralta at one point was their only healthy starting pitcher on their roster. They are 5 games under 500, and nobody really gives them a chance. And then all of a sudden, they go on an 8-game win streak. They go on an 11-game win streak. They take the National League Central Division and never give it back. They go on a 14-game win streak. They play baseball in a way that manager Pat Murphy wants them to play baseball. I'm excited for them to have the opportunity on the national stage, on the big stage, to prove everybody wrong. I know, depending on where you look, the odds have shifted to the Cubs being the favorites in this series, which I still would question, but I'm excited for them to prove everybody wrong. They got their backs up against the wall. Pat Murphy's called them the average Joes all year long. There's not Christian Yelich is a star, but like outside of that, nobody knows who these guys are. They're not making household name conversation. So I'm excited for them, and obviously for us as fans, pack American Family Field and show out and once again prove everybody wrong.
Brandon Snide, producer of 9 to Noon with Kuhn. You can hear that every weekday, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. right here on 105.7, 1250 a.m. Snide, these emotions in this game. You're a very emotional fan. I'm a very emotional fan as well when I watch these games. The emotions favor Milwaukee in this matchup? Do they favor Chicago in this matchup? They got a little bit of playoff baseball under their belt. They won a series already, but now the Brewers get a chance to go up against the rival team, against the former manager. The emotional, mental matchup, where do you lean in favor of?
I lean towards it favoring the Brewers, right? And I think because you don't got to look far. I know the center of the conversation is around Craig Counsell. Craig Counsell left Milwaukee because he thought this team couldn't win a World Series, Tommy. Think about that for a second. Craig Counsell looked at that clubhouse in Milwaukee and said, I can't win here. I'm going to leave. Now, how would you feel if you're in that Brewers clubhouse? I'd tell you right now, it pissed me off. I would be upset. I'd be ready to run through a wall. I'm ready to run through a wall right now, Tommy, and it's 10:38 in the morning. And so I think those emotions favor the Brewers because they're looking at this as, you didn't think we were good enough. You didn't think we could do it the way that we've done it. Not only have we done it since you've left, but we've won back-to-back National League Central Division titles. And, oh, by the way, you had a 6.5-game lead at one point in the season, and we took it from you, and we ran, and we never looked back. I think these emotions will favor our Milwaukee Brewers. I think they're going to play with an edge. They played with an edge all year. Why would it change now? And Chicago is supposed to be here, Tommy, right? This is what this is what baseball wants. These are the big markets. This is what they want. Baseball is supposed to be favoring towards the Cubs and the Yankees and the Dodgers, and the Brewers aren't supposed to be here. This is not what baseball wants. They're here. So I think they're going to play with a little bit of an edge, and I think it's going to favor them.
Brandon, have you heard the roster yet? Came out 8 minutes ago.
I saw Tobias Myers was not on it, and I have questions about that. But again, and I said it yesterday on 9 to Noon with Rami. I have questions around Jacob Mizorowski as well. Do you trust him in a big spot, Tommy? Because I don't. And that would be the biggest thing.
He hasn't given you a lot of faith in that moment. No, not yet.
Right. So other than that, I don't think it's anything out of the ordinary, like something that we didn't expect. But that's the big conversation for me is, okay, you're up 2-1 or you're up 4-3 in a big spot in this game. So you got to go to Jacob Mizorowski, and do you go to him? I don't know if I do. I'm curious to see how they play it. I know Pat Murphy said all hands on deck. I think that's my biggest question with the roster.
Brandon Snide, producer, 9 to noon with Kuhn, every weekday here, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 1250 a.m., 105.7 FM. Snide, any predictions before I let you go?
Brewers in 5. Brewers win a close one today. I think it's going to be a pitcher's duel. I think, the Cubs bullpen has been taxed a little bit. I think Freddie Peralta is going to go and do Freddie Peralta things. I think the Brewers win an emotional game 1. Game 1, to me, Tommy, in a 5-game series, certainly in a 3-game series, is the biggest game of the series. And I think the Brewers, I think they get a win today, albeit a close one. Some clutch innings out of the bullpen. I think the Brewers win today 5-3, 5-4, and take the series in 5.
Brandon Snide, have a good rest of your day, my friend. Good luck down there in the youth football world today.
Thanks, guys. Go Brewers.
There he is, Brandon Snide on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Before we go to break, let me read you the official NLDS roster for your Milwaukee Brewers. The infielders today: Jake Bowers, Caleb Durbin, Andrew Monasterio, Joey Ortiz, Bryce Turang, Andrew Vaughn. Notice I did not say Reese Hoskins' name on that. The outfielders: Jackson Churio, Isaac Collins, Sal Frelick, Blake Perkins, Christian Yelich, and Brandon Lockridge making the NLDS roster. You assume that will be for his case of pinch running. William Contreras, Danny Jansen, your 2 catchers. The pitchers: Grant Anderson, Aaron Ashby, Robert Gasser, Jared Koenig, Nick Mears, Trevor McGill, Jacob Mizorowski, Chad Patrick, Freddie Peralta, Quinn Priester, Jose Quintana, and Abner Uribe. Those are your 2025 National League Divisional Series Milwaukee Brewers. We'll talk about it to wrap things up on the other side. It is the leadoff show. We are live from Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound. We're presented by Apollo Cafe. Charlie Beck in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
2. Fly ball to left, got some carry to it. Casey's back, looking up, and Terang goes deep again. The power surge of Bryce Terang, his 13th home run. And the Brewers strike first.
He would finish the season with 18. That is Bryce Terang. Highlights courtesy FanDuel Sports Network. It is the leadoff show. We are live at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound. Tommy Wortz here with you. No guest this segment in the 11 o'clock hour. However, we will be joined by Trevor Thomas, Inside Wisconsin Sports, and, of course, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer live in person here at Kelly's Bleachers. Make sure you guys come on down. The place is getting packed right now. It looks awesome. Everyone excited to watch Brewers Cubs NLDS Game 1. Let's talk about this roster, this lineup for no lineup, but this roster for the NLDS. Not a lot of shocking names, it feels like. Robert Gasser making it, of course, and Rhys Hoskins, maybe the biggest headline, not being a part of this. Not a shock either. They really had the opportunity to get him back into a groove in September if they wanted to have Rhys Hoskins a part of this National League Divisional Series, but Jake Bauers, Andrew Vaughn, they took his job. That's what it was. They played phenomenal down the stretch. Jake Bauers, maybe the hottest hitter for Milwaukee heading into the postseason right now. Andrew Vaughn doing his thing as well, hitting over 290 is in this time in September. Brandon Lockridge being the pinch runner, the maybe late fielding substitution in this game. I don't imagine that he will get any at-bats. But the guy that we played at the top there, Bryce Terang, that's where I want to focus. When he went on his tear, that's when the Brewers were on their tear. 14-game winning streak, Bryce Terang started hitting a bunch of home runs. Things really started to click for Bryce Terang. I think he is going to be massive in this series. You should rely on your best players. I think Bryce Terang is one of the best players on this Milwaukee Brewers team. Freddie Peralta is getting Game 1 because he is the best pitcher on this Brewers team. It's not really a hot take, I think, by any means. Christian Yelich is going to do Christian Yelich things. I expect him to have a massive series against the Chicago Cubs as well, but I want to see that guy that wasn't necessarily there in October last year. Bryce Terang is a completely different player. Jackson Churio, another guy that I think a lot of people expecting a lot out of. 21 years old, had a fantastic wild card series last year, homered in multiple homer game, robbed the home run as well early in Game 1. I am excited for this roster. Charles, any reaction to you on some of this NLDS roster construction for the Brewers?
I think I look at this, and the biggest thing that I'm noticing, like you mentioned before, is no Rhys Hoskins. I know that's something that people kind of expected to be the case here. It just still surprises me with the type of presence that I think he does hold in that clubhouse. But it's also seemed like Christian Yelich, since he's been healthy this season, has been able to kind of take the reins from Rhys Hoskins that he was holding last year a little bit, or at the beginning of the year this year when they were struggling. Brandon Woodruff, I know he's hurt and he's not on this roster right here. But at the same time, he's going to be in that clubhouse, and he's been a really big presence for this team in that clubhouse this season. Doesn't feel like what Rhys Hoskins brings to the table, which is leadership, which is playoff ability, and that way to lead a young team in the playoffs is needed all that much when you have a Yelich, when you have a Woodruff, when you have some of these other players that are going to be around the clubhouse this time around.
I'm excited. I'm super excited. I got one segment left here with Charlie. Then Mitch Thunder Nellis is going to take over, produce the rest of the program. Can't wait to have him on as we talk Brewers and we talk Brewers Cubs, specifically National League Divisional Series Game 1 about to be underway at 1 o'clock. Still 2 more hours here at Kelly's Bleachers and change, of course, here on Blue Mound. Charles, I'll reluctantly ask you predictions for today's game as we've already had Rami Makaloff. Might as well just make this all Cubs all the time, I guess, here.
I mean, not Cubs all the time. Like I said before, I cheer for the Brewers too, and I think in this series, the Brewers are going to end up taking the series probably with 5 games, taking the whole series there. For today, though, I have the Cubs winning this game. I said this yesterday on Wisconsin Sports Daily that I feel like the Cubs having the first 3 games of that wild card round are kind of on a roll here, and the Brewers are going to have to do a little bit of waking up at least early in this game. And because of that, I feel like this Milwaukee Brewers team is going to fall behind a little bit early, which is something that they just cannot do for the rest of the series. I don't expect them to do it for the rest of the series, but today is going to be one where it's going to be a little bit of a wake-up call game for the Brewers coming off of that bye week here, I think.
I don't think the Brewers can afford a wake-up call. I think they have to be wide awake right now. I think they need their caffeine. I think they need something in their system already. If you can't get juiced up for Brewers Cubs, the team that might know you the best of any team in the postseason right now and throughout the regular season, you have your former manager. I know there's only, I think Drew said 8 guys that had Craig Counsell as a manager when they were with the Milwaukee Brewers. But I compare this to Micah Parsons going to Dallas, right? And this is going to be an emotional game. This is something that the Brewers are going to feel all throughout that stadium, similar to how that stadium, AT&T Stadium, felt when Micah Parsons is coming back. And it really elevated the game of Dallas in that game. And I really expect it to elevate the game of the Milwaukee Brewers during this stretch too. I cannot wait for it. I'm ready to go. We still have 2 more hours here of the leadoff shows. We are live at Kelly's Bleachers. We're presented by Apollo Cafe. I'm juiced up, Charles, and no matter what, I'm ready for this Brewers team to be at their utmost best. I'm super excited, and I cannot wait to continue to do it. Charlie, you got some work to get to, I know, correct?
I do have some work to get to. I'll be watching the game. I'll be very excited. Like I said before, I'm going to be cheering for everybody in this. I just want some good baseball. Yeah. That's all I want out of this game, man.
I just want good baseball. I want everyone to have fun. You know, I've never said anything bad about Charlie before this week. Maybe ever. I don't, especially not on the air, but like ever about Charlie.
This might be the second time this week. If you do say something bad here. Yeah, you said something bad about me earlier this week too. So
Exactly. I know he's like an elephant. He'll never forget because I rarely do it. And I love Charlie. But this week, Q's asking if we should get a little friendly wager on this. I don't know if it would like hurt you as much as it would hurt me. So I don't think I'm going to, but maybe we do something later on with a friendly wager of a Chicago, Milwaukee, or Green Bay with Chicago thing. I'm not sure. But we'll get to it eventually. So Q, we'll channel that. We'll put it on the back burner, and we'll get to it. It is the leadoff show. We're here at Kelly's Bleachers, thanks to our good friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka. Baseball calls for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth, easy to drink with no bubbles to fill you up. It's the perfect game day sipper. Plus, each Sun Cruiser is only 100 calories, 4.5% alcohol, making it perfect for anywhere your watch party takes you. Crack one open today. Let the good times cruise. Milwaukee, please drink responsibly. We got a break here. Trevor Thomas, Inside Wisconsin Sports, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. every weekday here on The Fan, is going to join us on the other side. Mitch Thunder Nellis going to take over for Mr. Usen. Charlie, thank you so much as always. Have a good rest of your day, my friend.
Thank you. Anytime. I got you, Tommy.
It's the leadoff show live from Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound. We're presented by Apollo Cafe. Charlie back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game. Yes! Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son. You got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude. You got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wortz on 1250 AM and 1057 FM, The Fan.
Hour number 3, the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you, now joined by Mitch Thunder Nellis, as well as we are live at Kelly's Bleachers. Mitch Nellis, how are we doing this morning, my friend?
We're doing great. It's playoff baseball. We are here. We are ready. Let's bleep and go.
Yes, that's exactly how I'm feeling. I'm sure that will be reciprocated as well with our next guest, host of Inside Wisconsin Sports, weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. It is Trevor Thomas.
Can you see it?
Like Charlie's kind of called the
There it
Gentle
is.
Giant. And Trevor Thomas, I feel like, should also be in the Gentle Giant. You're as tall as American Family Field, I've heard, Trevor. How is it down there in the tailgate?
It's amazing down here in the tailgate. I've only spotted one Cubs fan. He's currently playing catch with a Rockies fan. I don't understand that whatsoever. They're a little confused. That's a good way to start the day. Let's have them be confused about what's about to happen in here.
I'm so juiced up here. Trevor Thomas, host of Inside Wisconsin Sports. We had your counterpart, Josh Albrecht, on earlier in the show today as well.
How do you look, by the way? Because he
told
told me that he was bringing one of these shirts for me. Okay. He's like, hey, I grabbed you a double X. And I'm like, awesome, go get it. He's like, wait a minute. I'm wearing it. So I got a medium on. This is look. This is what I'm dealing with in the parking lot right here. Look at that.
It looks
I know
totally
we're on the radio,
good.
but
You're fantastic either way. Trevor Thomas, you guys give your love to the Brewers all the time on the air. I love that you guys are talking Brewers as much as you guys do from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. I think you guys might be the most excited show on the air for this matchup. You guys are at game 1. You guys are ready to go right now. What are you the most excited about today for NLDS game 1 Brewers Cubs?
honestly, for me, it's about fandom, right? I've said on the show that if you're looking for the OPS, the elemental Ps, the AVJs and things, I'm not your guy. However, from a fandom perspective, I am so jacked to be here in this stadium for this game. And I'm telling you guys, I was really nervous all week long about the number of Cubs fans that were going to be here. I think I'm on record of saying that I was a little nervous to play the Cubs based on their fans only. But once we knew we were playing the Cubs, all of that nerve went away. And I'm telling you right now, I'm just going to do a little twirly-loo here. I don't see but one Cubs fan playing catch. That's it. That's impressive. And I'm so happy about that. So I'm jacked. Hey,
Trevor
I have a question
Thomas
for you, Tommy, real quick.
What's that? What's that?
Why did we go 14-12? Why did we not have Tobias Myers on the roster and instead like a Grant Anderson or Lockridge, obviously for speed reasons, but I'm a little puzzled on that one.
Because I don't think they want to go deep into this pen at all. I think that they, throughout 2025, the depth of the pen was a huge piece. But I think that they really want to focus in and hone in on their top part of that bullpen depth. If you have a guy like a Freddie and a Quinn Priester and even Jose Quintana all season long, they've been pretty consistent 5-inning-plus guys all season long. I think they're going to rely very heavily on Aaron Ashby in this postseason. And really, I would think, Trevor, that this should be optimistic for the health of Trevor McGill heading into the postseason. Wouldn't you agree?
That's a great call because we would have used Tobias later in the game. Is that what you're saying? And then went to Abner Uribe?
Right. Or at least that Trevor McGill is ready to go into wherever his role might be. I don't know if Abner Uribe is going to lose that ninth inning job because he was phenomenal at it too. But when you saw Jared Koenig really figure it out in September, I also think that played a factor into when they were going to go to 14-12. Rhys Hoskins had every opportunity this season to make this roster, and so did Jake Bowers and Andrew Vaughn, and they made way more of their opportunity than Rhys Hoskins did, Trevor, in my opinion.
Yeah. Guess who brought his Rhys Hoskins jersey to the game today?
Oh, no.
This guy.
You have a Rhys Hoskins jersey?
Yeah. Yep, sure do. Got it for Christmas.
Wow.
And I think I'm going to be rocking this medium right here.
It's not going to play very well today. Trevor Thomas joining us here on the leadoff show, special 4-hour edition of the leadoff shows. We are live at Kelly's Bleachers while Trevor is over at the tailgate. Make sure you go say hi to Trevor and Josh. They want to meet all you guys as well, too. Trevor, you can't miss. Josh wearing the hat that you can't miss either. Trevor, game one specifically right now, Brewers, Cubs. Cubs got a little bit of action beforehand. They win the wild card series against the San Diego Padres. The Brewers get the break, and they're in the DS for the first time in a few seasons now. Rest versus rust. That's kind of been a topic of discussion here now, too. Where do you lean on the Milwaukee Brewers in that argument? Did it help them? Did it help the Cubs more? How are you feeling about that situation heading into game one of the NLDS?
I am all about rest. And let me explain this. It is not for me about rest of our bats or rest of our arms or rest of our legs. It is rest right here in the mentals. We just needed to take a break. I really think that there is a piece of this Brewers team that just had to take a deep breath, remember who they are, and then they're going to show up today like they did so many times in the regular season. We actually talked yesterday on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Jeff Levering. And I asked Jeff if he thought things were a little coy, meaning did the Brewers actually do this a little bit on purpose? I'm not saying they tried to lose on purpose, but did they lift their foot just a little off the gas pedal? Because we would all agree for the majority of the season it was on the floor, but you can't play 162 games like that. I think today we gave our heads a rest, we gave our hearts a rest, we gave our bodies a rest, and it sounds like the guys had a lot of fun with their inter-squad scrimmage that they did today. I think there's a band coming. Can you hear that? It's perfect timing.
I don't hear it. I can't. Yeah. No, yeah, there's a band playing in here. It might as well be, too. It's packed in here at Kelly's Bleachers.
Yeah, I think the rest is
I'm worried about your
was the right idea.
The rest was the right idea. I tend to agree, especially just getting out of that wild card round, not having to deal with that after you've had so many heartbreak in that now over the last couple of seasons. It's now you're in that divisional round. You get to play the Chicago Cubs, the team that you are the biggest rival with as of right now. Trevor, where do you see the favor of the Brewers against the Cubs specifically? Where do you think that there is an edge? The Brewers have to exploit that edge. And where does your brain go first talking about a Brewers-Cubs matchup that favors Milwaukee?
If we watch the Cubs in their wild card series, I thought their edge was home field advantage. They did not hit well in game one or game two. But I thought game one, a couple home runs really lifted the team in terms of what they could bring to the field. Kind of disappeared in game two, but I didn't think their bats were hot by any means in either of those games. And then they hit the ball pretty well in game three, and obviously that's why they're here at AmFam Field to play the Brewers. That's what I think the Brewers' advantage is going to be. I really, truly believe that this place will be majority Brewers fans today, and that they will feed off of the energy that we give them. Couple that with the rest that they got. Let's see our bats wake up a little bit. We're known for small ball Brewers, right? Let's move some guys over in a sacrificial way. Let's do some stealing, and let's just show everybody that they had nothing to worry about. We're the best team in baseball. Well, how have we forgotten that?
Trevor Thomas, Inside Wisconsin Sports, joining us here on the leadoff show. Trevor,
hold on, Tommy. Trevor, what do you got in the cup?
It is water, but it tastes like ketchup because I had Josh grab me some ice and refill the water while I was making sure all this worked. And I literally said to him, "Hey, buddy, did you by chance have ketchup on your fingers when you put the ice in here?" Yeah, little ketchup water.
Welcome to a tailgate.
Water.
Welcome to a tailgate.
That's amazing.
Any adult beverages happening today?
There are. Yeah, we have. There are four of us, and to keep things responsible, we have one 18-pack of Miller Lite.
Perfect.
That's it.
That's it, Trevor?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I had
how many
a long
people
drive.
Are you there with now? What are you guys
I had a long drive,
with?
and I don't drink and drive, and I got to drive home today. And sweet gear right here. Yep, say hi. I try to be responsible. I want to remember this. Don't get me wrong, boys. I like to party. That is well known in my circle of friends. But today is a different day. We need to keep it together. There's going to be a lot of Cubs fans here. I don't need a reason to have my bear poke. Let's just be responsible and cheer our team on to a victory.
And leave the tall guy alone.
Yes, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Yes, Trevor Thomas joining us here on the leadoff show. Trevor, I was comparing this game to a game that you recently attended. Micah Parsons returning back to Dallas, right? And you went in as that visiting fan, and you were in the defense of Mr. Micah Parsons, obviously, during that. But that stadium, that crowd, now think of it as a Cubs fan. I don't want you to be a Cubs fan, but think about it as a Cubs fan. Is if you're going into this territory, it feels like that emotion that you hear with Micah Parsons going back to Dallas can be replicated and can be compared to Craig Counsell in the playoffs coming back to American Family Field. What did it feel like as a visitor? Did it feel hostile ever in Dallas? Maybe a little bit different sport, but do you expect those similar emotions coming from Craig and from Cubs fans in this setting right here? Because every one of those fans in Dallas in favor of the Cowboys felt that. And I feel like that's how Milwaukee fans are feeling as of right now, too.
When I was in Dallas, I did not believe the Dallas fans took advantage of Micah Parsons coming home. Let me explain that. They didn't care. It did not seem like they were trying to feed off that energy. There was some hellos and high fives and hugs and how are yous before the game. And Micah Parsons got one sack. Now, it was clear that Dallas had their whole game plan revolving around Micah Parsons and how quick Dak Prescott had to get rid of the ball. But I don't know that Cubs fans are smart enough to throw Craig Counsell in our face. Like, hey, guys, look what you gave up. Here we are in the playoffs, and now we're playing you. Well, that doesn't work. We're here. So I don't know that the emotion is going to be in the favor of the Cubs. For this, it's in our favor. You could not have written this script any better than the way it's playing out. Euchre Magic, Counsell's coming back, NLDS. And I believe, this is what I believe the Brewers beat Chicago, the number 3 city in the U.S. Then they beat L.A., the number 2 city in the U.S. And then they beat the Yankees to win the World Series, the largest city in the U.S.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Milwaukee is going to show how real baseball is played.
The bike security guard went right by as you did this, and it just looked like he rode off your hand into it perfect. So perfectly. That was beautiful. That's beautiful. Trevor Thomas live at American Family Field. You can hear him weekdays 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on 1250 a.m. and 105.7 FM. Trevor, one more thing for you. I want to get to picking your brain about with this Brewers team. Right now, the lineup doesn't hit a lot of homers. That's in this whole thing, right? Homers play in October. Everyone, you need to slug more, Milwaukee. Well, right now, Trevor, I think that I've been trying to preach this to everyone who's coming on. I want to see the Brewers change baseball, and I think they have an opportunity to show that you can be competitive year in and year out with what they have going on right now. I'm excited to see it, Trevor. What do you think for that as well?
So my answer to that is yes, and. Yes, you're right. We can change playoff baseball by not being the team that is dependent on the home runs. And there's not a guy in the lineup that can't hit a home run at any point in any game. We've proven that this season. Imagine if those beams cross in this game or this series or these playoffs. Imagine if we play the Brewers baseball that doesn't hit a lot of home runs with a couple Brewers home runs that come in clutch positions that wake this place up.
Nice.
Let's go.
Trevor Thomas, inside Wisconsin Sports. Mitch Nellis, you got anything for him before I let him go?
No, I was going to say that's just awesome. I'm excited to hear your report. You've got, an hour and 45 minutes before game time. I'm just excited to hear about all the camaraderie outside of the park at the tailgate. I'm sure the tailgate is starting to fill up. If it's not, you look there and it's like, there's the
boys.
Yep. Take a walk around the tailgate though. Give some high fives. Go get some high fives, man. I love the vibe of a day playoff game in Milwaukee because everybody is on the same team. Everybody's cheering. Everybody's just in a good mood, and just bring that energy all day long. I don't know what just happened to Kelly's, but somebody won the jackpot.
No, it's the Wisconsin Badgers are playing right now.
Right.
Why are they cheering?
They just got into first and goal right now.
How am I behind?
The ball didn't get turned over.
I'm watching
the ball did
not
not get turned over.
Yep.
That's all. That's all it is.
First and goal. I'm watching, but I'm behind apparently on my Spectrum app.
Question: do we want to do this fan thing right now? I'm a little afraid to do it because of the whole don't swear. Do it? Yeah, let's do it.
Do it.
Here,
I got
hold
the
on to
dump.
my
All
cup.
right, hold on. Let me
Hold
make
on
sure
to
I
my
got
cup. Yeah, put your thumb on that dump button.
on that dump button.
Nellis,
Yep.
we're going.
It says dump. Right there on the board. Right, Tommy?
Got
It
this
works.
live on the
It
radio
works
right
now.
now. Let's do this. Live.
Let's do it.
Let's
Nice.
go.
Let's
It
go.
looks awesome there.
Does it
Great
help when I
fan
shout over
bases.
everybody?
Tailgate's
It
filling
does.
up.
It does help when you shout.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
Look at these
Looks
professional
awesome.
tailgates.
Yeah, that is a bar.
These guys have a bar set up. That's amazing, Tommy.
Oh, my goodness. That is insane. I love it. There it is.
Fantastic,
Trevor
boys.
Thomas,
This is
you
what
can
it's all
follow us
about.
on YouTube. YouTube.com/@thefan-Milwaukee. Joining us on the fan guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. It is Trevor Thomas inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, my friend. And of course, let's go Crew.
Let's go, Crew. Thanks for joining me and us at the tailgate. Go Brewers. Let's go.
Let's go.
There he is. Thanks, Trevor.
Thanks, Trevor.
There he is, Trevor Thomas, inside Wisconsin Sports. Kelly's Bleachers is packed here. If the Badgers score a touchdown, it's going to erupt here. It's 3rd and goal right now.
I predicted 3 points for them today, Tommy. So if they score a touchdown on the opening drive, it's 3rd and goal from the 5. So
true. They don't even have Danny O'Neal playing in this game.
No, the guy who came in and threw a touchdown at the end of the Maryland game. There you go. There you go. I don't even have it yet. I'm so behind. Why am I so behind? What is going on?
I bet you can guess what just happened.
Yeah.
Wisconsin Badgers on the board. Brewers playoff baseball on the horizon as well.
What if they win in Michigan? What if they beat Michigan?
Only one person on the Mason Crosby show, I believe, picked the Badgers to cover this spread. This is yes. I predicted this as this is the game that they give you a little bit of false hope and hopefully that you can get after it. I'm rooting for them 100%.
Sure, of
I would
course.
love to see it, but I'm just saying 7-0 Badgers now as they are on top of number 20 Michigan in the big house.
Yeah.
But that's about all we're doing here. Rainbow Trout wants to defend Grant Anderson on the lineup versus Tobias Myers off of it. I don't know, Rainbow Trout. I really don't. I wouldn't have been upset with either one of them being on the roster. Grant Anderson's stuff, I believe, it's probably not as filthy. I just think that the Brewers wanted to go with the guy who did something during the regular season, right? I mean, he pitched in 70 innings this year and had a 3.2 ERA. I don't expect Grant Anderson to get a lot of, dare I say, meaningful time on the bump in this postseason.
I do wonder, Tommy. I do wonder, having this time off, and I know he just came off an injury and he looked shaky after the injury, but I do wonder if this time off, kind of gets his mind and body right to where he was pitching the way he was pitching in August when he was pretty unhittable.
Well, and on top of it, there's been a lot of guys. I have a little less faith in Nick Mears going into the postseason, right? I mean, I feel like he got burnt out and overused a lot. I think he's going to be used in this, but again, I don't think the choice was really between Grant Anderson or Tobias Myers. I think it was Grant Anderson. I think it was Tobias Myers and Jacob Mizorowski, right? I think that's probably more where this leaned on who was going to be a part of the NLDS roster. I'm excited to see this. I'm excited to see this team. I don't really have a lot of complaints about who was left on, who was left off for the NL division roster. I think that it can change come the NLCS, obviously, too.
For sure.
And something could be completely different.
Great point.
All these guys are going to have to be ready if someone goes down, too, during this. So I'm not shocked by really any of the moves. We were talking about them all week from 5 to 6 here. I think that this is exactly what we expected out of this Brewers divisional series. It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you live at Kelly's Bleachers. Mitch back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Welcome back to the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here with you live from Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mountain. Mitch back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Apologies for my video here. I was on a Wi-Fi situation that was great until there wasn't. Everyone in Milwaukee right now at Kelly's Bleachers.
It's true.
This place is packed. It looks awesome. Everyone's excited watching some Badger football as of right now as we get ready for Brewers baseball. 1 o'clock, first pitch from American Family Field. Can you guys see me now? Am I on there? Am I looking
I
all
can
right,
see
or?
you. You look okay. You're a little fuzzy,
Okay,
but
all right.
but you know, you're kind of
think
fuzzy
that's
in real
that
life
screen.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's that screen specifically as well too. So it might be okay now, but we'll try to make through it.
Yeah.
Mitch Thunder Nellis, I got you here, and
Yeah, you've talked to
are
everybody else,
producing
I feel like.
Yes, producing the rest of the day here, and I don't have anyone slotted, so I can talk to you now here about your excitements, your expectations. Where do you want to go? What do you want to talk about when you're talking about Brewers Cubs NLDS game number 1?
I mean, I don't even know where to start. I'm so excited. It's like the feeling you get, and I felt this starting last night. Like I was at the Estabrook Beer Garden in Shorewood, and it's like half the people were wearing Brewers gear. Like we were there for a friend's birthday, and everybody's just like already in a good mood, excited, ready for this. And then I woke up this morning, and same thing. It's like, oh my gosh, the game is today, and it's today. And I know a lot of people kind of were excited that it could have been an 8 o'clock game tonight. I don't like the 8 o'clock game. I think that's too much time all day. I like that we're getting after this. I like that we're getting into it. It's the first game of the day. Let's go. Let's get excited. And I just, again, I'm trying not to be overconfident, but I feel really good about this Brewers team. I love the rest versus all the work that the Cubs starters and relievers had to put in against the Padres. I'm just like, it's just an exciting day. And I hope it goes the way we want it to, so that as Milwaukeeans, we can all celebrate together tonight. Because if this game goes the way we want it to go and it's over by 3:30, we got all night to party, baby. Again, we don't have to wait for an 8 o'clock first pitch. We got all night to party. Let's go.
Mitch, I echo you. I'm feeling extra confident for Milwaukee in this series. Maybe that's not something that we should have right now, but I'm telling you that I am ready for this series as a Brewers fan. And maybe beforehand, there was a little bit of nerves going on whether or not this Brewers team, can they handle a loss to this team? Are they so ready to go up against these big, bad Chicago Cubs who hit home runs, who play good defense, who have good pitching? Mitch, this team won the most games in Major League Baseball. Why are the expectations not higher? The Fangraphs expectations, I don't know if you saw this, Brewers have the worst odds in the National League to make it to the to the World Series. They have the second to worst odds, only behind the Detroit Tigers, who were a wild card team, remember, coming into the postseason.
True.
I think that there should be higher expectations for this team. This is a team that was fantastic at scoring runs. They played baseball the way they wanted to play. When you talk about identity, the Brewers personify identifying their baseball team. They have done a great job at it all season long.
You know what? That's fine. Let's go. Let's keep that chip on the shoulder. Let's keep that underdog mentality, even with the best record in all of Major League Baseball in home field throughout the playoffs, wherever that may take us. Like, it's great that the Dodgers have all those names, and we know how good Shohei and Mookie and Freddie are, but the rest of the team is not as good as it's been in the past. Their pitching's good, but whatever. Philly's really good. We just saw Philly here a few weeks ago. They have two really good starting pitchers, and they have two amazing hitters who you can't pitch to. And that's fine. That's great. But you go 1 through 26, and I will fight with this Brewers team all day long. And I think that's what gets missed on the national level is the star power. Is that like, oh, yeah, Christian Yelich was good in 18, and then in 19 he got hurt. He was great. And then he got hurt. He's never been the same. And even though he had a great year this year, nobody nationally cares about that. Freddie had a great year, but nobody cares because Paul Skeens exists and Zach Wheeler exists and the Dodgers pitchers exist. So nobody's going to pay attention to Freddie and to Frankie and to Freddie, and that's fine. And listen, all that's good. I want all that energy in the clubhouse and in the dugout and in Pat Murphy's mouth. I want all that energy for these Milwaukee Brewers because when they shut everybody up, it's going to be that much sweeter.
We're live from Kelly's Bleachers. It is the leadoff show. Mitch Nellis back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We're talking Brewers Cubs ahead of NLDS game number 1. Mitch, today, I don't know what the lineup is going to look like quite yet.
Yeah.
But they were experimenting a little bit at the back end of the season. They had Yelich in a leadoff spot. They were putting Terang in that top 3. I'm not asking like whether or not you liked it or not, but today, what do you expect to see in the construction of this Brewers lineup if you were at the helm and saying, hey, I think that the Brewers play the best when blank right there is a part of the lineup or in this certain spot of the lineup or doing their thing in the lineup, wherever you want to go with it. We got to talk about bats more on this team because the bats maybe are the biggest question for this team.
Tommy, I think I have the starting lineup.
Oh, okay.
I think
Let me get to it.
I think it's on the Brewers Twitter.
Okay, I will get it then right here, so I know where it is. Why don't you hit that sounder?
Yeah, hold on.
Let's get the starting lineup for today's game for the Milwaukee Brewers in NLDS game number 1.
Looking up, and it is one.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Can I predict something right away? Leadoff home run.
I will.
I'm predicting a leadoff home run. I'm predicting a leadoff home run.
Leading off
I'm just
today,
telling
the lineup for your Milwaukee Brewers, presented by Lakeland University, lakeland.edu. Experience it your way. In left field, Jackson Chourio. At
left
second
field.
base, batting second will be Bryce Terang.
Let's
Batting
go.
third, the catcher, William Contreras. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Christian Yelich. Andrew Vaughn will bat fifth, play first base. Sal Frelick in right field will bat sixth. Caleb Durbin batting seventh at third base. In center field, batting eighth, Blake Perkins.
Ooh.
Shortstop, Joey Ortiz will round things out. He will bat ninth for the Crew. Mitch, I love it. I actually do. I am in favor of getting Blake at the plate before getting Isaac Collins, especially against the lefty here. Yes, I am.
Tell me why. Sell
I
it
think
to
his
me.
lefty splits are better. Are better. I think the defensive advantage is there as well. I like having Blake Perkins in center field versus having Jackson Chourio in center field. Maybe Isaac Collins is a better left fielder than Jackson Chourio, but he also took a step backwards on the defensive side in the back end of the season. He was playing phenomenal in that August stretch, and then he went out selfishly. His wife had a kid. No, just kidding.
Just kidding.
On top of it,
Good job 9 months ago. Nice job.
It was something that I think was going to be a topic of discussion as well. Will Blake Perkins get an opportunity, or will Isaac Collins get the opportunity? The lefty on the bump definitely favors having Blake Perkins be a part of that starting lineup. I think that's important for this Brewers team to work out the matchups. We also know that I would not be surprised if Isaac Collins gets a pinch hit appearance in the 6th inning of this game,
for sure.
right? Or in the 4th inning of this game, if they switch things around. Matthew Boyd threw under 60 pitches last time he was out starting for the Cubs in the postseason. They are not afraid to have a short leash with this team. I really like the way this roster is constructed today.
Can I give you? I'm going to give you the splits real quick. Against lefties, Isaac Collins has a 732 OPS. Against righties, he has an 802 OPS. 70 points better against righties. Blake Perkins has a 789 against lefties and a 582 against righties. So the stats back you up. And I also believe that if Blake comes up facing a righty, you will see Isaac Collins pinch hitting for him regardless of when that is in the game. Could be 4th inning, could be 6th inning, could be 8th inning. There's no doubt this is a better defensive lineup. Blake Perkins is a magician in center field. Jackson Chourio is kind of like an inconsistent magician in center field. Like he makes great plays, but then he'll make some.
Hey, do you remember when he robbed that homer last year?
Exactly.
He was in left field. He was in left field,
and he robbed the homer
yes.
last week in center field in San Diego, which was great. But then he lets fly balls drop in front of him. So there's that. I'm surprised they are going with Blake over Isaac. But when you look at the splits, righty lefty, I like that Bryce is in the lineup. I like that Sal's in the lineup. I think there was thought maybe from Murph that he could have replaced one of them. I like that he didn't do that. You have to have it in the lineup. I love Vaughn in the middle of the lineup against a lefty because he mashes lefties, and you have Bowers ready to face the righties. Like this is set up. I love Churio leading off, and I'll bring it back to you. I was at the game Memorial Day. The Red Sox were in town. Garrett Crochet, who's going to finish second in the Cy Young race, destroyed the Yankees in game 1 of their playoff series. He starts the game for the Red Sox. Churio hits a leadoff home run, and it just set the tone for the game against an overpowering pitcher when the Brewers weren't really the Brewers yet, right? It's late May. They're starting to play better, but they're not quite who they are today. And Churio does it, and that's why I said Churio is leading this game off with an opposite. He's going to right center, and he's hitting a home run off Boyd in this game. Put it on underdog. Put it on underdog.
We are
Use
live.
promo code Thunder MKE. Let's go.
From Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound, Mitch Nellis back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And you know what else I really love about this, Mitch?
What's that?
Is I think that Christian Yelich at the 4 spot is fun.
I love him in the middle of the lineup. It was fun.
It was in the top 3.
Yep. Oh,
is
for
great.
sure. Yes.
But that bottom part of the order against the lefty, the bottom part of the order is when they are on, the Brewers are on. It benefits them more when they have Caleb Durbin at 7, I think, than they do at 6. And it benefits them to have Blake Perkins at 8 and Joey Ortiz. I already asked Charlie. I mean, over under on a half of at-bats with the bases loaded. Like, he's going to come up with the bases loaded again. It's just going to happen.
Well, and what I love about those 3 batting at the bottom of the order is the amount of pitches they see. More often than not, those guys put together 5, 6, 7, 8 pitch at-bats. They work starting pitchers. And I love that. I think that's going to happen.
This game.
Hey,
I'm ready for this lineup.
Is our fearless leader in the building?
I don't know. There's a lot of people here. So
he's coming up next, right? Sparky's jumping on next. We're going to
be joined by Steve Sparky Pfeiffer on the other side of this break. I don't know if I can't see him. Sometimes he sneaks around pretty well
That's
here.
True. That's true.
I would be surprised if by the end of break he's not ready to go here. So let's hit a quick break here on the other side. Remember, we are here with our friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka. Baseball calls for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth, easy to drink with no bubbles to fill you up. It is the perfect game day sipper. Mitch, have you been able to try them? They're so tasty.
Yes, I had one when we were at the Brown House. Absolutely delicious.
I was skeptical for sure. Yep. And I some of the other competing brands, when I hear tea, doesn't do it. I do not feel that way about Sun Cruiser Vodka.
I haven't had the peach yet.
I love them.
I haven't had the peach
lemonade
yet.
one is so good. It's like it's literally like you're drinking an Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so delicious. Each Sun Cruiser Vodka also only 100 calories and 4.5% alcohol, so great for our weight loss journey that we're on here, Mitch, making it perfect for anywhere your watch party takes you. Crack one open today. Let the good times cruise, Milwaukee. Let's get to Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, host of Wisconsin Sports Daily. Coming up next, it is the leadoff show live from Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound. Mitch back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It is the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz here live with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer now from. I'm excited to get right now. Mr. Pfeiffer, how are we doing today, first and foremost?
We're doing good. Yeah, we're hanging in there. We're doing our thing. Happy to be here at Kelly's Bleachers. Thanks to Sun Cruiser for having us out here, which is also an amazing thing. This place is packed. As expected. We've given away a lot of Euchre Magic t-shirts. Peacock just told me, Jack Pembroke, which is great. I think he gave away like over 100 shirts.
Over 100, I believe it. There's so many people in here. Places jumping. Badger game right now. Everyone's having a good time watching the Wisconsin Badgers play during this stretch. This is all about Brewers baseball, though, up until 1 o'clock today. We will have a very traditional leadoff show from noon to 1. But the lineup, in case you missed it earlier in the show, leading off in left field, Jackson Churio. Batting second, it will be Bryce Terang at second base. William Contreras is catching. He will bat third. Christian Yelich, the DH, bats fourth today. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Sal Frelick in right field will bat sixth. Caleb Durbin at third base, batting seventh today. Blake Perkins in center field will bat eighth. Rounding things out, the shortstop, Joey Ortiz. Mr. Pfeiffer, I will go to you. How are you feeling about the NLDS Game 1 lineup for this Brewers team?
The Blake Perkins thing is the one thing we talked about yesterday on Wisconsin Sports Daily. I wasn't a fan of the Blake Perkins decision, obviously. They're going defense over anything else. I realize Isaac Collins has struggled since he had a kid. I don't know how to fix that. I have no idea. But again, if this is going to be the way they're going to play it, fine. Hopefully Perkins doesn't suck as bad as Joey Ortiz does at the bottom of this lineup, so you have two holes in this lineup.
Well, the lefty splits are in favor of Blake Perkins, too. And we and Mitch talked about in the last segment, like Pat Murphy will pinch hit Isaac Collins in this game very early, I think, as well. But you cannot deny defense is very much a priority as well on this lineup so far today.
Who's better defensively at first base, Jake Bauers or Andrew Vaughn?
Oh, I mean, who's better at first base in general than anyone other than Jake Bauers, right?
So I mean, to a degree, it matters, I guess, one way or the other. I'm fine with it. I don't have a problem with this lineup. I think Murphy did a good job. I like the idea of Churio leading off to try and get him going.
Just let him see strikes, right? He's a guy who likes to swing the bat. He doesn't draw a lot of walks. Let him see strikes then.
So we'll see how this goes, but they have to have Churio play well. You can't – I mean, he had 200 in September. He's got to play like a star, not only in this series, but when they take on Philly or the Dodgers in the next series, you're really going to need him because you're going to have to average, 4 or 5 runs to win the NLCS, somewhere in that area once you get past the Cubs. By the way, speaking of that, I'm really pretty happy. There's not a lot of Cub fans in here.
No, there's a handful. We were talking with Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht, who are down at the tailgate at American Family Field as well. They're saying the same thing. Not a lot of Cubs fans compared to what they were expecting or have seen in the past.
Yep.
It's been very Brewer heavy. Everyone excited in this city to watch the Brewers in the DS for Game 1 against the Cubs. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer joining me here at Kelly's Bleachers. We're here because our friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka. Sparky, you excited, nervous, both for Game 1 here, and where are you the most excited, nervous, both when talking about the Milwaukee Brewers ahead of the Chicago Cubs in Game 1?
I'm excited for the NLCS. I want to see who wins that series between the Phillies and the Dodgers and see who the Brewers are going to play in the NLCS.
Nice.
Let's go.
That's kind of what I'm excited for.
What changed? What changed? You're ready now?
I still think the Brewers win in 5.
Okay.
I don't think – I hope I'm wrong. Maybe they sweep the Cubs. But I still think it goes 5. I still think it's going to be a tough series. I'm encouraged by the reports of not a lot of Cub fans. I was shocked when I came in that there's so much parking still available on the streets around American Family Field. Late arriving crowd, I guess. People just taking shuttles from bars all over instead of trying to park closer. I'm not quite sure. But I was really surprised by the amount of empty spots for parking. And even the auxiliary lot when I was coming in, that's still pretty empty. That's not full yet either. There's lots of room for parking out there. So it'll be fun to see what all happens. I think when you look at this Brewers team going into this, Freddie Peralta just can't have an inning where he throws 30 pitches, gives up 2 or 3 runs, and blows up his pitch count. That's what you want to avoid. And if that is going to happen, if that's unavoidable because it's Freddie Peralta, then please, for the love of God, don't let that be the first inning. Don't let the Brewers come up to bat the first time down 2-0 or 3-0 against the Cubs. That first inning is probably the most important inning of this game. Is
of
the first
of the
inning.
season, maybe.
Maybe.
It could be. It could be the
Yes.
most important inning
Yes.
of the season. As Steve Sparky Pfeiffer joining me over at Kelly's Bleachers. We talked about, you brought him up, Freddie Peralta. What does he need to do in game one today to establish that success and tone for the Milwaukee Brewers in your eyes? I've been so focused on talking about the pitching as a whole. We really haven't gotten into Freddie Peralta. He's had some success against the Cubs this year. The Brewers have won games in which he has pitched in, but we know Freddie, while some people call him fastball Freddie, I like to call him full count Freddie. I mean, at some point, because sometimes the innings can get away from him. What does he need to do specifically to provoke success for the Brewers?
I think, the one thing with Freddie Peralta is spotting that fastball, man. If he spots the fastball, he's in good shape. He rolls. If he has problems with control of that fastball early, that's when we start walking guys. That's when he starts sweating a little bit more than normal. And that's when he gets himself into trouble. But if he spawned that fastball early on in this game, maybe he goes 6 innings. Maybe he goes 7 games. I heard Rami McAloff on earlier talking about the fact that bullpen may be a little touch and go for the Chicago Cubs because they just had to play 3 straight games. So from that perspective, that's good for the Milwaukee Brewers too. You want to be able to get out and get going early. Matthew Boyd doesn't suck, right? Matthew Boyd's pretty good. So we have to have realistic expectations in this thing of, okay, can you get Boyd out of that game and get a couple runs? And then once that bullpen gets in, that's when you punch through and get this victory.
Predictions for game one before I let you go, Mr. Pfeiffer.
You're letting me go? I got to leave?
Well, you want to join us for 12 o'clock segment too?
Sure,
Let's do that. That'll be awesome. Well, then we'll wait for your predictions before then. Anything else that you're seeing for this Brewers division roster? There was some people are like, why do they have Grant Anderson over Tobias Myers?
You know what I'm happy about.
What are you happy about?
Who's not on the roster?
You got scared yesterday.
I was mad.
Yesterday it was worrisome if Anthony Siegler was going to be a part of this team, and he's not. He's not on this roster. The only really one that could have been seen as shocking was Rhys Hoskins also not being a part of it, but I feel like we were expecting that already over the last couple of weeks, that he's not going to be a part of this situation.
You went with the speedy outfielder instead of the slow guy, and Hoskins hasn't played all that well to begin with, right? So, having the speedy outfielder in his place, that's fine. Siegler, I was concerned about. Wagner scared me a little bit yesterday. And somebody tweeted out something about the taxi squad, and he called it the taco squad. And I tweeted back, and I was like, the taco squad? I want to be on the taco squad. If we're going to have a Brewers taco squad, I want Tommy on the Brewers taco squad.
I'm all in on the taco squad.
Yes. Sparky, speaking of the taco squad, I know you're not eating right now because you're on the air, but walking through Kelly's Bleachers, what's the best thing you saw food-wise? That's my question, right? Don't I always ask about food?
Mitch, you'll be proud of me. Mitch.
If we're being honest, there's a lot of. If we're being honest, there's a lot more alcohol being consumed than food.
All right,
I ordered a turkey wrap to go just for you, Mitch Nellis.
That's a good one. I like
just
it.
for you.
Yeah.
Mitch Nellis
We're going
hates that I
healthy.
just don't eat.
Come on,
You
we
know
eat
me,
wraps.
Wraps are cool.
You got to go get a pedicure while you eat your wrap?
Okay.
What's
Listen,
going on?
you have no idea. You have no idea how pro pedicure this station became over this week. It was all over
we have a
the
kicker.
Mason Crosby
Right.
show. And
Take care of the
when
feet.
Drew Wagner, now amazing that pedicures got so popular over this time.
It has something to do with that Vandaliers group he follows or something. I think that lead singer probably does pedicures and what's the one with their fingers?
Manicures.
I'm pretty sure.
That's the prefix. I don't even know. I went to public school. We are live at Kelly's Bleachers.
Yeah.
Steve Sparky Pfeiffer going to join us for another segment here on the other side. We are here with our good friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka. Thanks again to Sun Cruiser Vodka for getting us out on the road. Come grab
Sun
your
Cruiser.
Euchre Magic t-shirts up here if we still got them. We got a bunch of swag. If you want to be a part of 105.7 FM and 1250 AM, it is the leadoff show. We are live from Kelly's Bleachers. Thanks to our good friends at Sun Cruiser Vodka. Mitch is back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. More leadoff show coming up right after this.
counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game. Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son. You got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude, like you got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wortz on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the leadoff show. We are live from Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound. Thanks to our good friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka. Mitch back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. A much more traditional hour coming up as we are just about 1 hour away from first pitch. NLDS Game 1. It'll be Freddie Peralta going up against Matthew Boyd for Game 1 at American Family Field. Let's see what the Brewers lineup is looking like today.
And it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Thanks again to Lakeland University for being a part of the leadoff show all season long. Experience it your way. Lakeland.edu. Lineup for your Milwaukee Brewers today in Game 1 of the National League Divisional Series. Backing up Freddie Peralta on the bump. Leading off, it'll be Jackson Churio in left field. Bryce Terang will bat second base. William Contreras is catching, batting third. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat fourth. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Sal Frelick in right field will bat sixth. Caleb Durbin at third base batting seventh today. Blake Perkins in center field will bat eighth. Joey Ortiz, the shortstop, rounds things out. He will bat ninth today for the Crew. Tommy Wortz, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer here with you live from Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound. This is the place to be, like you said, Sparky. This is where you want to be. This place has been packed for hours now here. There's the Badger game on in the background to get you all the way up until first pitch at 1:08 from American Family Field. Couldn't have asked for a better environment for the Game 1 of the NLDS.
I absolutely agree with that. And again, this is the home run. And in case you haven't heard, Monday, we are back here Monday at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mountain as well, thanks to Sun Cruiser. From 5 until 8, Tommy Wortz will be out here 5 until 8 on Monday. I think Josh Albrecht will be joining you as well. So 5 until 8 on Monday. Come hang out with these guys beforehand. I think we'll have more Euchre Magic shirts as well to give away coming up on Monday. So, again, when you're going to the home game and it's the playoffs, going through here, Kelly's Bleachers, this is where you're going to find the fan each and every game thanks to Sun Cruiser. Vodka iced tea.
Yeah, they're so tasty, too, on top of it. I'm glad that we picked a sponsor with, like, a drink that is actually delicious. Like, if we would have got Malort to sponsor this because of Chicago during this time, like, that would have been awful. It would have been terrible.
Awful.
Yes, I know.
Awful.
I was saying that we should have some sort of Malort thing going on with Rami for this series. I don't know if it's going to happen, but Sun Cruiser, shout out to them for their awesome support throughout all of Brewer baseball season now at the back end here with these remotes. And it's NLDS Game 1, Mr. Pfeiffer. This is where the Brewers want to be. This is where the Brewers deserve to be. Why do you think, is it just their play style right now that their expectations might be lower across national media here? This is a team that won the most games in Major League Baseball. They won the most games in franchise history. They're having an all-timer season right now for this ball club's history, and it still feels like they are doubted.
I'll tell you what, I think it's a couple of different things. They didn't play that well in September, right? I mean, if this team is riding a 14-game winning streak, say, a week ago, I think everybody's on board the Brewers train like, oh, man, watch out. If these guys are coming into the playoffs with, say, a 10-game winning streak and rolling, I think everybody's saying, oh, boy, watch out. But that's not what happened in September. That's not what happened at all. Instead, they kind of fell back a little bit, played, sub 500 baseball or so in the month of September, haven't been the same team. They haven't been taking advantage of when the other team make errors. They're now making the errors, and the other team is taking advantage. It's almost opposite of what happened in August with this Brewers baseball team. Hopefully this week reset helps that and gets you back on track. This is all going to come down to offense, and the reason they've been doubted all year in the postseason has been, will they have enough power to win in the playoffs? Because that is how people have won for the last, 5 to 7 years, is with the long ball. That's how you win. And at American Family Field, any team can hit the long ball because of how the field's set up and how the ball carries.
Roof will be open today, too. That was some news. A lot of people were wondering if that was going to happen over at American Family Field.
Why wasn't it going to be open?
Well, you know, like the time of day, Major League Baseball, worried about probably weather.
Shadows.
You know, I'm sure that was going to be a problem. Like
Dude,
you
if
said,
they would have shut that roof with what it's like outside, people would have been passing out all over the inside of that stadium.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
That's a sauna when that thing is shut.
Yes. So
the horrible idea.
Roof is open. I'm assuming the panels will be open too. You talked about power and slug there in that comment that you just made, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer joining me here at Kelly's Bleachers. I am not concerned about it. I'm really not. I'm not worried about the power. I think that, I brought up that number of the last 10 years of postseason baseball. You got to hit home runs in the regular season in order to translate it to the postseason. And I'm so focused on this Brewers team being different. This Brewers team needs to lean into being different in my mind, Sparky. I want to see them playing like they were in August, where it was, hey, we're putting the ball in play. We're hustling 90 feet down the line every time, putting more pressure on you to be perfect on the defensive side. And why not expose that? I know the Cubs are a pretty good defensive team compared to a lot of teams they've played all year. But how do the Brewers get back to providing and applying pressure onto their opponents, in specifically the Chicago Cubs in the divisional series?
I think, like you said, you have to just put the ball in play. Even if it's a sole roller at third, hustle, make that guy make a good throw from third base, right? On an easy ground ball double play, hustle. You never know. They may force a throw at second base. I think for the large part of this is just following along with Pat Murphy says. Don't chase. Don't chase bad pitches. If you don't chase bad pitches and you swing at good pitches, he'll live with the result. But if we're getting ourselves out swinging at bad pitches because we're in a pressure situation and we're not handling it well, then that is going to be a problem. There is an advantage to being the Chicago Cubs right now going into this. They've played 3 games already. They haven't stopped. Their regular season ended. They got a day, and then boom, right into 3 consecutive games. So their rhythm is still going. They're still seeing pitches every day. The Brewers have not had that same rhythm. But from a Brewers standpoint, you could argue that they needed a break. They needed a reset mentally to get ready for this thing. So, like I said before, this first inning is everything at this point.
Now let's talk about it. We've avoided it long enough. We've had you on here for a little bit now, 2 segments almost, and we haven't even brought up the trader's name in your mind. Craig Counsell, right? Emotions in this series going to be high, it feels like. Drew Wagner tried to comment saying that, oh, that's so last year on this. I couldn't disagree more on that take, Sparky. The Cubs were not in the postseason last year. The Cubs still have not won a divisional title with Craig Counsell at the helm, and Pat Murphy has done the great job of doing that over the last 2 seasons. The emotional advantage, where do you point, Cubs or Brewers in this game?
If there's not a lot of Cub fans here, I think the emotional advantage is the Brewers. You get a true home field. My concern coming into this was it's 40, 50% Cub fans, and that home field is robbed of you at that point. That is what I don't want to see. I'm hoping we don't see that. If we have a true home field, I think there is an emotional advantage to the Brewers at this point. From the idea of, well, that was so last year. No, it's never going to be so last year. Want to know why? Because the doofus lives here. That's why. You got to see him at the grocery store. You got to see him at Walgreens. You got to see him at Kohl's, wherever.
Stone Creek. Sparky, we see him at Stone Creek.
Stone Creek, wherever he is, you got to see him. You want to see that dude? No when he just beats you in the playoffs, you want to see that dude wearing the World Series ring? No when he lets you to go there because he's not in the World Series ring? It's never over with this cat. As long as he's there, it's never over. Well, now, if he gets fired from there and takes a job with Boston and wins, who cares? I don't care. Just not there and not in St. Louis. Those are the only 2 jobs I didn't want to deal with. Other than that, I could care less.
I don't know if it's ever repairable. I don't. I think that
Brett Favre was repaired a decade later.
And I don't necessarily think that it worked out in his favor at the end of it either. I think Craig Counsell's a different story. I really do, because the way Craig was Brett was at least up front, right? It was, I'm leaving to go play somewhere. I'm going to get back in the NFC North. I'm going to make you miss me. I'm going to make sure that you can feel how I feel. I'm going to put these fan bases aside from each other. You're either going to be Team Brett or you're going to be Team Packers. That was never the case with Craig Counsell. It was behind the scenes, sleazy, itch your way out of there. Everyone knows I'm leaving, so who cares where I go? I didn't realize it would be such a big deal if I went to Chicago. He didn't lean into it at all. He tried to be as sneaky as possible with this move, and I don't think it's a repairable thing right now, especially I know it's 2 years, so it's still kind of fresh, but in 10 years, if Craig Counsell throws out a first pitch at that game, he's not going to get booed a little bit by some people?
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting take on that. And my thing is, I see people on Twitter all the time. Well, you wouldn't take the money, Sparky. That's not the point. He had $7 million, according to reports from Stearns and the Mets. He didn't want to move to New York. He wanted to stay close to home. He wanted the Cubs job for that reason. And then when they started talking, he's like, hey, I've said the whole time, I'm trying to help out the other managers. Oh, murder me, Craig Counsell. Oh, yeah, right. So he then gets the extra $1 million, $8 million, to then go be the manager of the Cubs. That's where he wanted to be the whole freaking time. There, or probably the White Sox, but that's a horrible organization. So the Cubs was, as he put it later, a dream job. That's what it was, because then he could stay in Whitefish Bay, be with his family in the offseason, be with his family even during the season. He wanted to make a quick trip home for a night or whatever. He can still do all of that. This is where the man intended to be. And to your point, he never said boo about it one way or the other. And I'm not saying Mark didn't screw him with an offer, but if we're being realistic, he offered him the highest paid gig in the majors at the managerial level. And Counsell took that and superseded that by $2.5 million per year.
Feels like I just convinced you with your own words now that I don't know if this relationship is ever repairable.
Yeah,
with
but I'm the
him
wrong
right now.
person to ask. I hold on to grudges forever. I am the wrong person to ask.
We can all try to be like Steve Sparky Pfeiffer at some point, maybe in the other way as well. One more thing then here, Mr. Pfeiffer, for you before I let you go. We haven't really honed in on anyone in the bullpen necessarily, and that's maybe the greatest strength of this Brewers team is the depth they have and the pieces they have in the bullpen. Who is the most important pitcher not going to start a game for the Brewers in the NLDS?
Trevor McGill. I don't care where he pitches. He just can't get hurt again. You cannot lose Trevor McGill due to injury. He has to be healthy. I don't care if he pitches the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th. Don't care. He has to stay healthy. You cannot have a Packers situation to where he comes back out there and then all of a sudden you lose him in game 1 or game 2 and you're gone. That changes how good this bullpen is dramatically. You have to have McGill one way or the other. So for me, it's Trevor McGill.
What about Mizorowski? Where does he fit in that pen to you?
He only starts an inning. He never comes in during an inning with guys on base. If they would have done this the smart way, which they didn't because they weren't either thinking or I don't know what the problem was. But I said at the beginning of September, if he's going to pitch out of the bullpen, then his butt should start pitching out of the bullpen now for the remainder of the year. And they didn't. They waited to the end. Now you're going to put him in a situation he's not used to or comfortable with in the playoffs and go, oh, here, go figure it out, Miz. To hell with that.
Are you
start an inning with them? Start the 6th with them. Start the 5th with them.
Are you
whatever.
okay with that mindset now that Mizorowski makes the playoff roster as opposed to a guy like Tobias Myers who went 6 innings in a game last year for you?
Pat Murphy has never been a fan of Tobias Myers for the last how long? Are you really surprised that Tobias Myers ended up getting screwed in this deal?
No,
and not on the roster?
not at all. We were way ahead of that also. Of like he hates him. Yes,
right. Well, I don't know if he hates him, but he's been in the doghouse forever, right?
Yes.
And that's part of the reason. And there are certain guys, Sealer, that he likes, and that somebody probably put their foot down and said, "No, that's enough. We're not doing this again, Pat." But either way, no, I don't. No, over Tobias Myers, yes. Mizorowski throws 103 off. Last night, we were at Burkhart's, right? The kid was in the 9-year-old was in the batting cage. There was another 9-year-old in another batting cage with his dad. And my 9-year-old's in there, and I put it up to the highest speed you could go, 70.
Okay.
And he was laughing and freaking out and swinging and trying and made contact a couple times. So then the kid next to him, his dad's like, do you want to try 70? So he put 70, he fires once, the kid bails. He's like, no, I'm not doing it. So now the dad gets in there, grabs that. Dad's like, I got it. So the dad gets in there, and he fouls off a couple of pitches, and he's late. I lean over the kid. I go, now imagine this. Jacob Mizorowski That's 70. He throws 103.
Mhm.
I'm like, imagine trying to hit that ball. At 70, you're freaking out. Imagine 103. I do not care what he did in September. We saw what he's capable of. And when he's on, he's as dominant as anybody in baseball when he has his control. Right? And when he came up, the pressure was on and he delivered. Well, guess what? Playoffs are right here. Pressure's on. Can he deliver again like he did his first couple outings? I think the answer is yes.
I was waiting for an Anthony Siegler joke on the 9-year-old in the batting cage, to be honest, out of you, but we turned it up to a Miz pitching. Mr. Pfeiffer, thanks so much for jumping on today. Have a good rest of your day. Let's go Brewers.
I do think Siegler could hit 70 as long as there's not a lot of movement.
It is the leadoff show. We are live at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mountain. We are here with our friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka. What do you got for us here?
The Padres going to win this game against Michigan. It's 7-7.
One person picked
10-7.
One person picked them to cover the 17.5-point spread because they said they were going to lose by 17, and that was me, by the way, on the Mason Crosby
But you don't think
show.
they're going to win?
Relax,
no,
bro.
absolutely not.
Relax.
No.
Okay.
Relax.
This place was jumping for Badgers when
I
they
heard
were
it. They were
competitive,
cheering
yeah.
early, and Mitch was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah. I mean, you gotta at least like have some faith at some point. Let's get to Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook next. Get you some of the best bets if you want to get any action on the NLDS game number 1, Brewers Cubs, coming up in about 50 minutes here. It is the leadoff show. We are live at Kelly's Bleachers. Mitch back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Lakeland University. Experience it your way. Visit lakeland.edu. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 1057 FM The Fan.
Welcome back to the leadoff show. Tommy Wortz is here with you live from Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mountain. Thanks to our friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka. Mitch back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we get over to Austin Herdina at Potawatomi, Brewers lineup today again, in case you missed it. Jackson Churio in left field to lead things off. Bryce Terang at second base will bat second. William Contreras is the catcher, batting third. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat fourth today. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Sal Frelick in right field will bat sixth. Caleb Durbin batting seventh will play third base. Blake Perkins will bat eighth and play center field. Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He is the shortstop, batting ninth. Now we got to get into checking in with the expert, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Let's hit that sounder for Mr. Herdina.
See you later.
Let's get the latest on today's odds for the game. What's the best way to go? Let's check in with our expert from the Potawatomi Sportsbook to find out. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 1057 FM, The Fan.
Pretty sure making his video debut on the leadoff show. He's just been, I mean, everywhere else he's on video now. So I figured, why not? Let's do it here again on the leadoff show. Mr. Austin Herdina, sportsbook manager over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. How we feeling today, Austin?
Oh man, we're excited. The crowd here today has been electric. You know, typically Saturdays are all about college football, but today it's all about the Brewers. We have so many people here for the games. Our shuttles are getting so much, so many miles on those shuttles, let me tell you, because we have so many people coming in using it. It's great. Just awesome energy for the Brewers today. I even got my Brewer tie on today. Look at that.
Oh, look at that. The Brewer tie on. Is it got Brewer stuff? Oh, yeah. It's got the M on it. I love it.
The old logo from the 90s.
The old logo, yeah. An underrated logo for I know it's not the M and the B, but a lot of people hated that logo, and I don't understand it. I think it's
cool. Like the Jeremy Burnett's, Jeff Jenkins, those guys' logo.
Right. Yeah, everyone associates not great with it. Greg Vaughn, I remember as well being a part of it as well. Austin Herdina joining us from the Potawatomi Sportsbook as he is the sportsbook manager of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Austin, I need you to read the odds off for me today because I'm unable to over at my side, but you do a fantastic job always. I know when this game opened, the Brewers were slight favorites in this game. How have the lines moved over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook?
As things stand right now, we have Brewers at minus 148, Cubs plus 125. If you want to take the Brewers minus 1.5, you're getting plus 148. And then the total runs right now is at 7.5. And it's pretty close. It's minus 113 under, minus 107 over. That has
so what are you
moved
liking?
a little bit.
What are you liking over there with the odds now, Austin? Because I do think that for the one time, that's 7.5. I'm always like over on 7.5. You always got to hit the over. But this has been a low-scoring postseason outside of Dodgers-Reds in the series, and I think that will benefit the Brewers the less amount of runs in this game, Austin.
Yeah, I agree. We're not a high-powered offense, right? We're guys that we play small ball and we play it very well. As far as the total goes, I'm staying away from the 7.5. But one total I am doing is no runs in the first inning. That has been 5 home games in a row now for the Brewers. There's been no runs in the first inning. When you got a pitcher like Peralta out there, I think he's going to shut down the Cubs too. Love Peralta today. I got over 6.5 strikeouts for him.
Yes, sir.
Brewers to win the game. Sal Frelick to get a hit. I just like it all. Put all 4 of those together. It's plus 650 today.
Plus 650 for the parlay for the people. Let me see if I remember this right. It's the no runs first inning. It's Sal Frelick to get a hit. It's Freddie Peralta over 6.5, and the Brewers to win. Did I say all that correctly?
You got it.
I got it. Plus 650, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Austin, the playoffs are here. I mean, I understand the Badgers are playing right now. I do not care. I just do not want to watch that dumpster fire going on over in Madison. Well, actually, they're in the big house as of right now. But the Brewers are getting ready to play the Chicago Cubs. Have you seen a lot of Cubs fans coming into the Potawatomi Sportsbook? Because I think all of us a little surprised at the lack of up here, especially at Kelly's Bleachers, and from what we're hearing over at the tailgates as well. It doesn't feel like it's an outnumbered or even number of Cubs fans in here as Milwaukee Brewers fans.
You know what? We've seen a good number of Cubs fans, but definitely way more Brewers fans. Definitely outnumbering. You know, I had one guy come up, place a bet earlier. He's wearing all Cubs stuff, hat, shirt, you name it. And I asked him if he had tickets to the game, and he said, no, not yet. And I said, good. We want to keep the Brewers fans in the stadium.
Right. I'm excited for it. What else is coming up over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook? You guys have a massive UFC card tonight, I know, that I am excited to watch after this Brewers game tonight. I'll be tuning into that. And what else is going on over at Potawatomi that people need to know about?
Gosh, let me tell you, maybe baseball playoffs are in full swing now. We have, 4 games today, just nonstop, one after the other. UFC 320 tonight. If you want to get reservations for that, head to Potawatomi.com. Click on Sportsbook, click on reservations. You can find the different seating options. Come on in for that. It's going to be a really fun card tonight. We're just full. College football all day long. Badgers down 3 just about halftime right now. They're hanging in. But, yeah, it's a great sports day.
Austin Herdina joined us on the Fan Guest Hotline powered by Gruber Law. Mitch Nellis here, Austin. And I know it's not sportsbook specific, but I know you have the Mid-States Poker Tour going on there this weekend. Yes. Is that how does that translate? To people, if they get knocked out, do you see them come over to the sportsbook? Is there just a different vibe a little bit in the casino sometimes when there are these big regional or national events?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the entire casino is seeing uptick in business this week. Anytime we have a lot of poker players in house, they usually translate to the sports book as well. It's a lot of that same kind of guest that we see, likes poker and sports. It's been really well run so far. The tournaments are upstairs in the convention room. Down here in the poker room, we got all the cash games. So it's a lot of players that are coming into town for that are hanging around in the sports book too.
Nice, awesome, good stuff, Austin.
Herdina, sportsbook manager over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Have a great rest of your day, my friend, and more today than ever. Go Brewers.
Go Brewers.
There he is, Austin Herdina, joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Mitch Nellis, if you could do me a solid here, I want to get into our Eye on the Enemy feature as it feels more fitting than ever. Let's hit the sounder for that one.
Nobody likes them.
Craig Counsell returning to American Family Feel.
We all want to see them lose.
It's not my job to tell people how to feel about something or even to figure it out. Let people feel how they want to feel, and I'm good with that, and I think it doesn't have to be all positive.
It's time to eye up the enemy for today's game. Powered by Ironworkers Local 8. Apply today at IWL8.org and join the Brotherhood building Milwaukee skyline. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
You knew it was going to be a leadoff show if the Ironworkers weren't a part of it. They were a part of building a winner, of course, all season long. We got to talk about the minor leagues, but what better sponsored event segment to move over to than Brewers Cubs Eye on the Enemy. Woo! Ironworkers Local 8, thank you so much for being a part of the leadoff show, not just all season long, but now all postseason long as well here on The Fan. And we're going to take a look. Freddie Peralta against the Chicago Cubs, the current lineup. There is some optimism here for sure. Michael Busch, 2 for 16 in his career against Freddie Peralta. Those 2 hits, however, Mitch Nellis, both home runs. Nico Horner, 5 for 28. That's a 179 batting average. He has hit a home run as well off of Freddie Peralta. Kyle Tucker is 5 for 11. Seiya Suzuki, 3 for 23. Ian Happ, 2 for 32. That is a .063 batting average against. Carson Kelly, 1 for 10. Pete Crow Armstrong, who's a little bit lower in the lineup. He's at 7 right now. 5 for 11. It's 455. He's also taken him yard. Dansby Swanson, 2 for 21. Matt Shaw, 0 for 5 in his career. On the other side, the career for the Milwaukee Brewers against Matthew Boyd.
I like it.
Jackson Churio is 0 for 1, 2 for 7, Bryce Terang. William Contreras is 4 for 9 with a homer. Christian Yelich, 3 for 11 with a homer. Andrew Vaughn, 3 for 12 with a homer. Sal Frelick, 2 for 5. Caleb Durbin, Blake Perkins, a combined 0 for 6, looking for their first career hit off Matthew Boyd. And Joey Ortiz, 1 for 6 off of today's starting pitcher for the Chicago Cubs. It is the leadoff show. We're getting into our Eye on the Enemy feature. Mitch, today more than ever, like Eye on the Enemy gets me fired up every time it's against the Cubs, right? It's like you hear Craig Counsell in the sounder. You just want to make sure that you touch on this. Freddie Peralta is 9-3 with a 3.21 career ERA with 17 starts, 98 innings of work against the Chicago Cubs. Very familiar with these both ball clubs here.
I think the biggest thing we need from Freddie Peralta today is to keep those emotions in check. You know, he does run on emotions. He loves getting fired up. He loves getting intense. And I think as we watch him on the mound early, right away in that first inning, is it business as usual or is there a little extra juice? Because he's talked in the past, whether it's a regular season game or whatever it is, that sometimes when there's a little extra juice, that doesn't always benefit him. He's been a guy that runs on emotion and needs his emotions, I don't want to say in check, like he needs his emotions flowing, but he doesn't need extra emotions. And I think we'll see that right away in the top of the first. If he comes out and has a 14-pitch inning with a strikeout or two and gets through it, I think we're he's due for a nice outing. If there's a couple walks, if he's nibbling, if he's fired up about something that like, a ball strike call, I think he's got to figure that out, that the emotions have to be maintained. You want to run on positive emotions. You want some nervous emotions, but you have to make sure it doesn't overtake what you need to get done on the field.
We have no more Euchre Magic t-shirts today.
Whoa,
we got
we
all
are
of them out. We are out of them.
And
Don't worry.
It sounds more quiet right now. Are people heading to the game now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
everyone's
okay.
ready to go. And some more news, even on top of it, breaking.
Ooh.
IT Ed will be at the game today
Oh,
because he's
baby!
going with me. He
No.
is.
What?
Yes.
You're going to the game?
Both going.
Who
I
let
will
you
be
in?
there.
Who let you
I
in?
know.
That's crazy.
It's an audible on a baseball show. I don't know how else to describe it. Eye on the Enemy, powered by Ironworkers Local 8, building Milwaukee's future one beam at a time. We're going to go to break now.
Can Ed get the M and the B tattooed on his skull? That's all I want. I want the M and the B
glove?
tattooed on it. Yeah, the
that
glove.
would be awesome. That would
just
be
saying.
so great. We're going to go over to Drew Wagner a little early. He's ready for us. I'm excited to talk to Drew Wagner. He is at American Family Field. That's brought to you by Focus Baseball. Of course, we will talk to Andrew Wagner of Forbes Sports on the other side. It is the leadoff show live from Kelly's Bleachers. Thanks to our good friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka. Mitch back in the studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
What's the latest on the crew? Let's go inside the clubhouse with Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Inside the clubhouse is brought to you by Focus Baseball. Join their fall mini camps at focusbaseball.com.
One segment left before it is Brewers baseball. NLDS Game 1. Lineup for the Brewers in case you missed it earlier in the show. Leading off in left field, Jackson Churio. Bryce Terang will bat second, plays second base. William Contreras is catching, batting third. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat fourth. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Sal Frelick in right field will bat sixth. Caleb Durbin at third base will bat seventh today. Blake Perkins in center field batting eighth. Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He is the shortstop batting ninth. And joining us now on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. You can follow him on Twitter at @byandrewwagner. Follow his work at Forbes Sports and at thefanmilwaukee.com. It is Drew Wagner joining us here. Uncle Drew, how are we doing today, my friend?
Oh, we just are over full of playoff spirit and camaraderie and blah.
I can't wait for your heart to grow twice in size when the Brewers make this magical run right now in the postseason. It'll be like a Dr. Seuss novel on how the crew stole happiness out of Chicago and gave it to Mr. Drew Wagner. Drew, atmosphere, how is it over there? Is it packed? Are there a lot of Cubs fans? I need you. Who is on the inside? Does it look like the Brewers fans showed up for Game 1 of the NLDS?
I mean, it looks like any other Brewers-Cubs game. There's a lot of human beings here. Some of them are wearing Brewers stuff. There's a lot of Cubs fans. That's to be expected. They all seem pretty well lubricated, that's for sure.
Nice.
I've heard a couple of the, a-hole chants going in the concourse. So, I mean, it looks like they're fired up for it. I mean, listen, it should be electric. Yeah.
It's going to be. It's going to be. I cannot wait for it. I'll be actually heading to the game as well as a fan for this one to watch Brewers Cubs in the NLDS of Game 1. Drew, the lineup, the roster, everything came out. Everything's final. The Brewers are all geared up, ready to go against Chicago. Freddie Peralta towing the slab for Milwaukee in Game 1. We've talked a lot about him and this staff heading into this series. I want your thoughts again. Now, Freddie Peralta is going to go out there and get the ball. How important is inning number 1 in this game for Freddie Peralta? Because it might be the biggest inning of the season, Drew.
I think it's the biggest inning of his career. Listen, Freddie has been very good this year. We're not going to talk about what we always talk about, and that's Freddie's length. We know what that is. It's not that much of a concern today. What they need from him today is to get through these guys. Chances are he's not going to go scoreless. You know, the Cubs are an incredibly good offensive team. They're probably going to hit a home run or two. It just stands to reason with the way that Freddie pitches. The key is he can't be issuing free passes ahead of these guys. He cannot be putting guys on base. He cannot be walking dudes. He's got to be spot on today. This is a huge start for him. He's faced the Cubs 4 times. Has a pretty good record against them. You'll see in my preview story at the Fan Milwaukee, hopefully shortly. He's faced him twice at American Family Field. One time, the first time was 6 shutout innings. The second time, he gave up 5 runs in 4 innings. Be like first time, Freddie. That's what he needs to do today. No walks, get through the order, be confident with his stuff, attack the zone, and mow through these guys.
Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, joining us here on the Leadoff Show. We're live at Kelly's Bleachers. Thanks to our good friends over at Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Drew, now let's shift to the offensive side. A massive amount of pressure on this offense, it feels like, because if you're going to make it through 2025, not relying on the home run, not relying on the slug, you're going to have to prove that your style of baseball will work. Get on base, put the ball in play, steal some bases, apply pressure. The Brewers, how do they do that, Drew? Because in August, everyone was feeling they could execute that every single batter. Not just every single game, but every single pitch felt like the Brewers were applying pressure. In September, they took the foot off the gas a little bit to try to get some guys healthy and ready to go. did this week help them prepare to get their mind back to ready to play at their elite, utmost, best level?
I mean, we're going to find out shortly. You know, we didn't get a chance to see what exactly it was that they were doing during those days. We were here Monday for the workout, but after that, it was kind of lights out. So not really sure because they didn't really divulge too much about it. But listen, you know, there's reasons to be optimistic. Number one, Matt Boyd is coming in here on short rest. Yeah, he only threw 58 pitches his last time out, so it wasn't a full workload, but he is still coming in on short rest, so he's a little off his routine. Two, they've had success against Boyd. He's got a 7.48 ERA and 2 starts against Milwaukee this season, and the Brewers knocked him around a little bit back in July when they faced him here. So those things tend to favor the Brewers. They've hit left-handers very well this season. Andrew Vaughn's OPS of the Brewers against left-handers is really good. So all the ingredients are there for them to have a good offensive day. It's just a matter of them getting up there and executing.
Drew Wagner, I have another question relating to pitching, and this time we're going to the bullpen, and I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like there's a couple of things that we could guess on with the pitching side of things, right? If they win, no, it's going to be Priest, or it's going to be Quintana. If they lose, it's going to be Priester in game 2. But with the bullpen, the only thing I feel confident in is the first man out of the pen being Aaron Ashby. I don't even know if Trevor McGill is going to be the 9th inning guy during this stretch here, Drew. How important is this Brewers bullpen in this series?
I mean, it's the playoffs, so the bullpen is automatically extra important. The Brewers bullpen, listen, they've had their hiccups, but they have been good for the most part. They do not blow a lot of lead. They get out of jam. I agree with you that Ashby's probably the first guy out. How they line up after that, I think it's going to depend more on who the matchups are. Who do the Cubs have coming up? Who do they have on the bench? That's the stuff that's going to matter more than just the raw numbers.
Drew Wagner, I have another thing to ask you about. I want to talk about the bottom part of the order. They have the lefty matchup, so they're going with Blake Perkins. Caleb Durbin batting 7th, Joey Ortiz batting 9th today. When the Brewers are at their best, Drew, the bottom part of the order is on their game. That wasn't necessarily the case in September. Again, did this break benefit the bottom part of the order? Because I think the Brewers already have the highest and utmost expectations for all the guys you know, the Tarangs, the Churios, the Yeliches, the Freliks. The bottom part of the order needs to step up in this series when it is playoff baseball. Every pitch matters, even if they aren't getting necessarily on base. They need to drag out these long at-bats. How does the bottom part of the order do that, Drew?
Well, that's another thing about the matchup today. You know, Blake Perkins' OPS against lefties, I think, is 200 points higher. Yeah, you're right. They need these guys to contribute. That's when the Brewers' offense is going best. But again, you know, going back to your original question, how does the break help? I don't know. You know, we won't have that answer for about 4 hours until we see what these guys do. It's easy to say that you know, they worked on things and they ironed out some tweaks in the cage during the time off, that they got some situational work in. I don't know. Does it help sit and work on your own? Does it help to play games? You know, that's maybe individual to each guy. But the situation is the Brewers are off. There's something they could do about it. That's the reward for the record they had. How they did it during that break was up to them, and what they got out of it, that's what we're going to see today.
Drew Wagner joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline powered by Gruber Law. And Drew, we all saw the roster today. Rhys Hoskins not on it. Not a big surprise. 10 total at-bats in September, 1 hit with an RBI, 6 strikeouts. Is this just a case of Bowers came back and was hot, and Vaughn, they've just found a trust in him? Can Rhys still be like a positive influence in the dugout, in the clubhouse? What does it mean for Rhys Hoskins that he's not on this playoff roster?
I mean, it sucks for him. There's no doubt about it. It sucks not to have an $18 million guy that you're counting on to be pop on your roster, but it's just the way that it played out. Like you said, he only had 10 plate appearances in September. Andrew Vaughn, was hitting either at or damn near 300, and Jake Bowers was crushing the ball. Bowers gives you more versatility because he can cover the outfield, and they decided to go with Lockridge because there is a value to his pinch running ability and his ability to grind out at bats. If one of these games go to extra innings and you start with that runner at second base, you got Brandon Lockridge to use as an option, and that's a huge benefit that you don't get from Rhys Hoskins.
Yeah, Bowers had an OPS over 1,000 in September, so you can't really, his bat obviously needs to be in there.
Definitely
absolutely.
needs to. Drew, have a good rest of your day, my friend. I will talk to you again soon.
I'll see you in a little bit, Drew.
All right.
That's Drew Wagner.
There he is. Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports on the Fan Guest Hotline. Powered by Gruber
Busy
Law.
man today, that's for sure.
One call. That's all. One more thing to get to before we get out of here. Top right of your hotkeys, Mitch Nellis. Today's keys to the game.
How does the Crew win today's game? Who needs to step up? Let's find out with the keys to the game. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
A little bit of time here, Mitch Nellis. I'll go to you first. Keys to the game today for the Milwaukee Brewers if they're going to come out victorious in NLDS Game 1 against the Chicago Cubs.
Well, we talked about it all show long. You've been talking about it for 4 hours. We especially talked about it over the last hour. Freddie's just got to stay within himself. You can't get too fired up. You can't get too excited. He's just got to play within himself and just throw strikes and get it done. Besides that, I love the starting lineup and just do what they've done all 6 months. Put the ball in play, put pressure on the Cubs, and just get after it with the starting lineup. After Jackson Churio leads off with a home run. After that, it's all gravy, baby.
Keys to the game, first inning. I love it. After talking with Austin Herdina and Drew Wagner about it in this last hour.
I did not like Herdina picking no runs in the first inning because I have Churio homering. So
I think that if the Brewers are able to get things done in the first inning, it's going to be massive in this game. And that's where I'm pointing to for the Milwaukee Brewers. Win that first inning.
Yes.
That is today's key to the game.
I like it. And all the Brewers fans get loud and don't get into fights and don't get too crazy. I know they're doing it starting lineups right now, watching it on TBS. Just cheer, just be positive and go nuts. Everybody go nuts today, as it should be.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm super excited. Mitch Nellis, have a good time at the game today, my
you
friend.
As well.
I will talk to you. Yes,
you get to cheer at least. I have to be quiet.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm ready to go to it. This is going to be awesome for sure. Thanks to Charlie Usen. Thanks to Mitch Nellis for producing the show today over at the studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Thanks to Austin Herdina for jumping on. All the guests that we had today as well. It's going to be a fantastic day of Brewers baseball in my prediction. I'm going Brewers 5, Cubs 2 in this one. And we'll keep it like that. Thanks to Sun Cruiser Vodka for getting us out here to Kelly's Bleachers. We'll be back on Monday for game number 2. It is the leadoff show. We are powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Mitch, don't forget, send them home.
Let's go!